this is where the problem is. I mean, and this is the problem. The average for the comp this year, Dyson, in any game is if you're going to be competitive, you must score 80 points a game, and they can't get close to that. They're averaging 38 points more, and they're conceding 109 points. That's a big differential of 60 points every, over the amount of over the season. That's a big, those figures you just can't deny.
And look, it's going to be a huge task. I've just been looking at their fixture in the next few weeks. Next week they've got Norwood here, okay. Then they've got East Ringwood at East Ringwood, who East Ringwood are playing pretty good football at the moment. And then they've got Baldwin here, and then they've got Doncaster at Doncaster. I mean, really brash, realistically, to get up into that mix in the midfield, they've got to win at least 2 of those, and I find it very difficult, don't you?
I do. And the fact is, look, I think Norwood will come good. I think that, like I said, they've had good quality players out there. Too good a side to be sitting where they are, expecting to start firing up the second half of the season. It just seems to me, though, that the sides that Knox are capable of beating just seem to be that little bit better on the day. They had a chance last week against South Croydon, and South Croydon come away with a good win. They're in that bracket. The same with North Ringwood, which is a must-win for them today. There's really 3 or 4 sides in that bracket, so it's going to be hard for them. It's really going to be hard.
Look, let's hope they prove us wrong, because
exactly.
we don't want to put doom and gloom on them all the time. But let's talk about the opposition now, North Ringwood. I mean, they're in a similar position to Knox. They need to win games in the up and coming weeks, and they had a good win there on their 1000th game. I forget who it was against now a few weeks ago, but that was a good win on a big occasion. They just need, I think, to you look at their list. They've got some great players. Anthony Sharp, Thomas Hill's come back to the club, Jaden Van Noonan, Heath Decker. They're all really good First Division players, those 4 guys. So what they need to do is that core of better players that they have need to step up to try and get this club up the ladder as well.
I know they had some senior players leave the club last year, but they have also, the one thing about North Ringwood is they've also had a very good junior program over the years too, Dyson, and the thing is they've been able to bring in some of their under-19s through the list as well. I'm not sure what's happened down there this year so far, because I actually think their list might be underperforming a little bit.
Well, with the names, with the inclusions that they brought in this year, yes, I believe that they are. That's why I said those 4 or 5 that I named certainly have to step up a bit. But look, Peter Banfield, he come across from Blackburn at the start of the year. I mean, Peter knows his football. There's no doubt about that. He's been around for a long time. And look, he would have realised that, it's a building project there as well. Probably, looking at a 3-year build to get North Ringwood back up.
Oh, yeah, look, and the thing is, look, as you said, though, there's still some class. There's still class there. I mean, they picked up Michael Loco from Blackburn, and he's been probably their best perform recruit this year. They've also got Matty Shepherd from Baldwin, who's played in a premiership side. I mean, so there's 2 quality players. Yeah. But I guess it just seems like they seem to be finding... One of the things I have concerns about them is they've had a lot of quarters where they've gone goalless this year. And that really knocks the momentum. Like last week, I think they scored goals in 2 quarters out of the 4. You can't win games of football, putting those sort of performances out every week. And that was even at Quamby.
Yeah, no, you're dead right there. Pardon me. They need to get a bit of consistency into their 4 quarters. There's no doubt about that. But I was just looking out at the scoreboard here, and we spoke about, this ground being very good as far as soaking up. Well, that scoreboard is absolutely magnificent. You can see that from the Dandenongs, I reckon. That some of these electronic scoreboards these days, I don't like the red letters, the red numbers that come up, and Roe will have one of them. Very hard to read. Scoresby's very good with the green letters, but this one, look, you can't get better than that, can you?
Yeah, well, white's such a neutral colour, whether it's sunny or wintry day.
Certainly is. We might take a short break. We'll see if we can track down a couple of guests around here at Knox Gardens Reserve. Before we do go to a break, and we did mention this last night on the huddle, AFL Victoria have released the Vic Country and Vic Metro squads to take on each other on July 10. The venue's still to be announced, but 12 players have been named in the 47-man squad. Certainly making the most of trying to get a few players in. The coach of the Vic Metro side has selected the following Eastern Football League players. Joel Perry from Vermont, Rennie Gilchrist from Baldwin, Tom Roach from Baldwin, Jackson Weatherall from Baldwin, Benji Obi from Noble Park, Cam Manuel from Roval, Shane Davidson from Vermont, Luke Williams from Knox, Dean Poynton, Norwood, John Meeson from Baldwin, Matty Ava from Norwood, and Stuart Hill from Norwood.
Yeah, out of those players from the Eastern Football League. Now, we were down at Simmons Stadium, Dyson. We saw that game. I believe that there's probably half those Eastern Football League players picked on reputation, because a lot of those didn't perform on, if they certainly weren't picked on their performance 2 weeks ago. Certainly got pretty lucky, a couple of those players. Just looking through the list, there's also a couple of former Eastern Football League players now playing with a few other leagues. For those who did tune into our coverage of the the community champs from the Geelong Footy League, Paul Hinkley, Campbell Floyd, Rob Condy, Matt McMahon, Chris Morland and Jason Davenport were all selected from the Geelong Football Netball League. We might take our first break. We'll track down a few guests and we'll be back right after this on AFL Game Day here on the Pancake Parlour AFL Game Day.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A, for A1 Airport Parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. It's the Aussie family company that's been manufacturing mattresses in Melbourne since 1991. They offer a huge range, and selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee, and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows, and custom-sized mattresses at chiropedic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Barry was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through the speakers. So, at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue, and Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Bigger and better in season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. The latest news and views on Facebook. Don't miss EFL Game Day or the Match Footage Hub on YouTube. and all those happy snaps on the league's Instagram account. Simply search Footy EFL. Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day. Dreary afternoon. One man who's looking forward to his side getting out and about on the ground this afternoon is the coach of the North Ringwood Football Club, Peter Banfield. Banners, good afternoon to you, mate.
Good afternoon.
It's a challenging one, isn't it? It's one of those games. I mean, we say that wet weather's a great leveller. Have you sort of had much time to sort of prepare a different game plan, a different style that you're going to go out with this afternoon?
Oh, look, obviously the conditions.
Without giving too much away, of course.
No, the conditions are, slippery. The middle of the ground's quite firm, and there are areas of the ground which are firm. I think, of course you need to adjust your game, marginally. You need to make sure you work hard to keep your feet, and obviously yardage today is going to be really important. So I think there's some subtle changes, but we'll pretty much stick to the way, we want to play in terms of, our style. There's no breeze out there, so it sort of doesn't affect sort of one end from a scoring point of view. So we'll probably, we're pretty set in the way we want to go and play today.
Would it be right in saying this is a genuine 8-point game? I know that's probably a little bit of a cliche, but when you're trying to avoid that bottom end of the ladder, this is one of those games that you really want to get your hands on the points.
And it's an interesting question. Look, our process has been all along. This is just another game. We need to make sure that we play well. It's a 4-point game, and obviously there's it's important that we win the game. So I probably haven't looked at it like that, and it hasn't been mentioned to the players like that. So we're just trying to make sure that we play well, and I suppose we play to the level that we've sort of been playing, in the last 5-6 weeks. So some of our footy's been really good. So we just need to make sure that we capitalise a little bit more on some of our ball going forward.
Pete, look, the consistency of North Ringwood's probably been a little bit up and down this year. Do you feel that, I know you've been involved at other clubs in Division 1, but do you feel now that the other coaches have done a lot more homework on your class players, right, and have been able to nullify their effect a little bit more this season?
Oh, no, look, it's interesting. I wouldn't say that. I think if you look at our results, as I said, against all the sides, we've been really competitive, and defensively, I think we might be sixth. We're not getting big scores against us. We played Vermont last week, and they've beaten side by over 100 points on 3 or 4 occasions. So, you're
only conceding 80 points a game.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And you're only scoring 50. Your average is 57. So that's not that much of a differential when you look at it in those figures.
As I said, our entire, I suppose, in terms of our game and where we're at, is we're just not scoring goals. So. For various reasons, my forward line hasn't operated the way it needs to operate, and that's something that we're continuing to work on. So, look, it's only round 8 today. Yeah. I've had a couple of forwards who, they missed a few games, so they've only, they're probably, they might be in a game 4 today or something. So, from that perspective, I still think there's enormous, improvement in the front half.
Yep.
But they need to improve because, as I said, defensively. The midfield and the back line are going really, really well. It's just making sure that we can get more goals from our forward line. So that's something that we know that we need to do. And, we're working hard to address.
Pete, before you came on here on air, we spoke about it, and I just said that you would have been under no illusions that when you took the North Ringwood job on, that you weren't going to turn things around in 1 year. It would probably be something like a 3-year project. Now the three defeats that you've had, and they've only been 5 goals defeats, have been Noble Park, Balwyn and Vermont. But the other games, have you been a little bit disappointed that, because most of the other games have only been like a 10, 16-point margin, that you didn't snare a couple of those?
Yeah, probably. I'm probably disappointed in the East Ringwood game. Our preparation, we didn't play enough practice games going in. We had 1 practice game cancelled, so we're probably a little bit underdone going into round 1, purely from a match practice point of view. So that was probably one game I was probably really dirty on, that we actually didn't win that game. And it goes back, it just shows our fitness base is very, very good, but we hadn't had enough match practice. So that's something I need to go and address next year. But look, look, seriously, we've got no depth at the moment, and that can affect your group of players, because really it's really hard to drop players because there's really no one to bring up. So
and also add injuries on top of that as well.
Yeah, we've got a couple of injuries.
They were dropping like flies early in the season.
Yeah, round two was pretty painful. But look, we've got some injuries, but those guys won't come back this year. So pretty much what we've got now is what we've got. So we've got a heap of under-9s who go to Yarra Valley who are playing school footy. They're all back next week. So there's an opportunity maybe over the next few weeks that we can get them back and we can start to filter a couple of these young blokes back through the seniors. But look, we've just got to keep doing what we're doing. Hopefully we can remain injury-free. Keep driving the group to get the best out of them. We need to rebuild our list. Our depth. That needs a lot of improvement. Because to be a top side in Div 1, your seconds have got to be competitive and they've got to win games, and you need to put pressure on. So, look, I'm well aware of that, and we're just, I suppose this year's more about consolidating, winning the games that we have to win to make sure that we stay up, and that's our focus. So. But we've got a bit of work to do.
One more before we let you go. Is there sort of little wins coming, particularly against those top couple of sides? I mean, you went into quarter time with, albeit a 3-point lead last week against Vermont, and where you might be playing 20, 25 minutes of footy at a time against those top sides, that sort of makes you go, wow, there is something here.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Look, I've got some talent. The group's still pretty young. I think. Today I might have 3 under-19s out there. So the group's very young still. There's still a lot of improvement in the group, and as I said, we probably get some bigger sides that say Vermont have got enormous depth. And if you look, I think the point system last week they were at 47, 48, and I think we're at about 30, 29, 30. So that's a really big difference in class, and that's something that we need to. We need to address. Every side needs, a couple of top-line class players, and we've got some really good players, but we probably haven't got those guys that have played sort of VFL football, back in our system, and that's where we need to, need to try and get one or two to come in and really, especially through the middle of the ground where you need quality ball users. We've got some really good players in there, but we probably just lack a little bit of skill on the outside just to finish off our work. So. I think last week, our performance was very good last week. We had a very unlucky second quarter, and I won't go into that, but sometimes people get involved in games which can, impact things. But, that's footy. You just got to take the good with the bad and get on with it. And, we've worked hard this week on the track this week, and, hopefully today the boys can produce a really good result.
Very diplomatic this afternoon of you. All the best of luck for this afternoon's game for the rest of the year, mate.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thanks very much to Peter Banfield, the senior coach of the North Ringwood Football Club. Always giving of his time right across any show that we do. He's always on Sundays. He's always... left himself open when he was at Blackburn and now at North Ringwood as well.
But he always gives you... The thing is, though, with Pete, Ray and Dyson, he always gives you something. You know what I mean? You ask a question and he doesn't dilly-dally around it. He'll give it... He'll give
He's a Banfield. He likes to play games.
Of course he does.
Of course he does, yeah.
David Banfield's the master of it.
They're obviously two pretty prominent names in Eastern Football League coaching circles. One of the things that I was sort of thinking about heading into this game and thinking about on the way here this morning is that you get a sense, and I sort of mentioned it there, I didn't really want to harp on it too much, but, that first quarter against Vermont, they played a fair quarter. I think they kicked 6 goals to 1 in a quarter against Baldwin. They're playing patches of football at the moment. Yep. They're obviously, won a game and whatever else, and they're being competitive against those middle-tier sides, but they're actually showing probably 25, 35 minutes of football at a time. That's actually sort of a bit of a glaring praise for what he's trying to do, because it is showing that there is something there. Yeah,
we often see when some of the bottom sides play a top side and they have a very good first quarter like they did North Ringwood last week of Vermont, a lot of people would say that when that top side gets back into the game by half-time, a lot of people say, it's just a quality, skill coming through from the top side. I think a certain percentage of it is, but I also think that sometimes the bottom side gets a false sense of security, and maybe they don't just go as hard as they should for that second quarter because they're okay, we're in front, we're doing all right, let's, do what we're doing. Would you go with that, Bruce?
Yeah, sometimes, but I also think the other foot, the opposition coach of the higher rated opponent might strike the fear of God into his
Oh, yeah,
squad
no
at
doubt
quarter
that.
time.
Yeah.
And then they have to come out, like
I know,
fire-breathing dragons and with a point to prove. And sometimes the bottom sides feel that wrath.
Yeah.
One man who is thankful for this game to hopefully we bring you 4 points at the end of the day is the president of the Knox Football Club, Joe Ayala. Very good afternoon to you, mate.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Knox Gardens Reserve, you folks.
Thank you very much.
I was trying to look back. It's certainly been a while since we've been here, but couldn't miss a game like this, and certainly weren't going to not come out here, that's for sure.
No, we're really looking forward to today, and we've sort of been really competitive as a team, but just we lack a bit of firepower up forward, and we just turn the ball over at the vital stages. So today's going to be a bit of a battle with the weather, and hopefully that we can come home with the bacon.
Obviously, in terms of a coach's point of view, there's a preparation for Dave to go about his business and get the boys get up week after week after week. But for you and your committee, are you already sort of starting to look towards next year? I mean, I know it's only round 8, but
look, to be honest, it's probably been a bit hard this year, like with financial, lot of the money's just not coming in like it flowing the last couple of years. A lot of sponsors want to pay in the second half of the year, and so it's been the committee's had to really work hard, sort of, to keep the fundraising going. We've got a couple of blokes on a footy operation, Johnny O'Brien and Richard Ransom, that are looking at blokes for next year. But the next 2 weeks, or the next 4 weeks, are really important for the footy club. Our structure really we need to be not only competitive, but we need to get a couple of wins in those games.
Joe, we had a discussion at the start of the broadcast, and I'm going to ask you this question, and I know exactly what you're going to say, but I'm going to throw it to you this way, right? We know last year the Knox has been rebuilding, and the emphasis has been bringing the young guys through. Confidence is a big thing.
Certainly is.
Right. We're now, like you said, the next month is a very, very important time for the football club. If the club can't find a way to win the games of football, the aim is to stay in First Division, but do you think it would be to the players' advantage if they went back down to get that winning mentality? Would that hurt the club going back down at the expense of the players' confidence?
It's a good question, but it's really hard to answer because, like last Thursday week, we're sitting back here till about 11:30 and got people saying it would be better to go back to second division and stuff like that. And I mean, I haven't taken the role, and I haven't employed Dave Madigan as coach and our coaching panel to play second division football.
No.
Yeah, but it's about development, and we just the trouble is we don't have the finances. We've got a ripper bloke in Luke Williams as skipper, and we've got a good core of blokes that have stuck with us, and we've picked up a couple of recruits, but we just sort of haven't really gelled, and we're still playing 5. We've got 5 kids, and 3 of our talls are only 18 years old, 19 years old. So we haven't really fully developed those sort of blokes yet. So, look, confidence means a lot. We've been really competitive. Look, we got smashed by Bourne by 100 and something points, but we actually have one more inside 50 than them.
Yeah.
So we're getting the footy, but our midfield's been really competitive with all the good oppositions. But we just haven't got the firepower up forward.
And the flip side of that is, like you just said, you've got people already working on next year's squad. And the thing is, if you do happen to go down, you just don't know whether that hurts your chances in recruiting those guys, doesn't it?
Right. Look, you probably know that Luke Williams is probably going away in 2 weeks' time.
How long's he gone for?
Oh, he could be gone for six months. He could be gone for 2 years.
He's going overseas,
Yeah. So he's going for the rest of the year. So, and to his credit, he won the Chandler Medal last year, and he wasn't going to play footy this year, but he just thought he owed the league a bit, and he owed the footy club for sort of backing him and winning the Chandler Medal, that he would play the first 8 games. And we sort of put, we've offered to put his flights back and stuff like that. But to his credit, he's been a ripping bloke for us, you know, and he's only playing footy. He wanted to play in the interleague side and stuff like that. And you don't get blokes like that.
No, you don't. You know? Definitely not.
And the key thing for us is the last 3 years we've got massive injuries. Like after round one, we had 3 blokes have operations, you know. Like my bloke was made co-skipper with Willow. He lasted 3 minutes in the first game. Young Hawks, he'd been at Box Hill and come back and was looking to really have a good year. Did his knee in the last practice match. Ryan Minahan, who's vice captain, had a hip operation. Then we've got Sammy Jeffries, who's you know, we just can't afford to lose those blokes.
And that leads me to my next question. When do you feel in your own heart was the last time that Knox put their best side on the park?
Oh, look, we haven't, because we lost those 3
No.
blokes. But Sammy Jeffries makes a big difference. And look, we had Ryan Jeffries played today his first game back. He's come back from a knee reco, but also had testicle cancer pre-season.
Yeah.
And it was great to just see him on the ground today, and he's kicked 3 or 4 goals in the twos, and we're resting him up now. But
the Jeffries boys have always added something to your squad. You know, they're pretty. You know, they're pretty tough footballers, tough but fair footballers.
That's right.
And the thing is, they're really good to have out there for the young blokes.
Yeah, that's definitely. You know, and their marking power and their contesting, and that's probably where we're lacking a bit.
Joe, you spoke about development just before, and you're also, every time you get some good juniors coming along, they half a dozen or so are shunted off to the Rangers and all that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help your development. But what my next question about that is that the juniors that do come through, are they going to your junior club, or do you find that maybe some of them are going to Roval, Wanturna South, or Waverley Blues, or what?
Look, it's hard. The Eastern Rangers, like, they're fantastic to try to develop your AFL players, but sometimes I reckon it burns them out. And a lot of them, we've lost a couple of kids that are not playing. Jack Hare and Sam Lennox, that were at Eastern Rangers last year. They're not playing footy, and that's a massive loss to the game.
Of course it is.
I just think also too, with the Rangers set up, the one thing that I don't like about it is I know they have a core group of lists and they keep players in reserve, but I don't like the fact that, you know, they turn around and they say to the boys that they have deficiencies that they've got to work on, but they won't allow them to play. So how are they supposed to? How are the clubs that lend them out? How are they supposed to develop them if they won't let them play?
And we have the same with the VFL players that you know the development squads. They have 6 buys or 7 buys, and you know, and they come here and they don't know the structure because they're not allowed to train with you, and they're not, you know, and then they play their own sort of game, and they don't play the discipline thing. So, and
Brash and I spoke about this last night. Look, the AFL, look, they absolutely do nothing for local football. They don't. No, they don't.
That's a fair point. Yeah. On that note, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the afternoon and hope the result goes your way.
I appreciate you blokes coming out here today, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, Joe.
Good on you.
Thanks very much to Joe Aiello, the Senior President of the Knox Football Club. Again, always giving of his time, and we do appreciate that. Just looking at the reserves game going on at the moment as we slowly tick down towards the senior game time. Knox 5-9-39, lead North Ringwood at 1-5-11. What are we? About 25 minutes away from game time. There's still. I think we might actually take a break. I think is what we'll do, and then we'll go right through all 4 divisions. 22 great games as you go local for your football here on AFL Game Day. All thanks, of course, to the Pancake Parlour.
Hey man, I've got some weekend goals. Like what? First, wake up around lunchtime. Oh, yeah. Second, go into Pancake Parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day.
Oh, you got to go to Pancake Parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else?
And then when I'm all full,
yeah, like in your belly,
just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals.
Bang!
Goal! Oh, Pancake Parlour's weekend goals.
Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct for mattresses, bases, beds, electric beds, trundle beds, quality pillows, as well as custom-sized mattresses made to measure. Factory Direct locations around Melbourne and country Victoria. To keep up to date on the latest sales, fun facts and news, go to Facebook, search and like Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct, and you'll join over 17,000 Facebook fans. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Or shop online at chiropedic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking? At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
We want the best for our loved ones. Offer them the best advice, give them the best care. Throw the best parties to celebrate milestones and achievements. And when the time comes, you want to give them the best celebration of their life. So you wouldn't leave it to just anyone to organise. Tobin Brothers Funerals believe funerals can be a celebration of life and always strive to be innovative and contemporary. So celebrate your life the way you want. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
The warm-up continues right here on EFL Saturday.
Welcome back to Knox Gardens Reserve as we tick down towards senior game time. Bit of an 8-point game. He was hovering around waiting for his president to conclude his long-winded interview, but we finally got him on the air. A very good afternoon to Dave Madigan, the senior coach of the Knox Football Club.
Welcome to the fort, boys.
It's always a pleasure to be here. It's been too long, but how are you feeling about this game? We sort of spoke to Peter Banfield about it, in that, quote unquote, it's probably a bit of an 8-point game. Have you sort of portrayed that with the players during the week?
Yeah, it's a little mini final, isn't it, at this time of the year with the teams locked on the same wins and in the same predicament. So yeah, it has been. We have been talking about the importance of this game. I mean, for us, every game's important, but the teams that are around you, you've got to beat them.
Dave, we spoke before, us guys here, about the conditions. We just felt that these conditions sort of suit your game plan better than what that does North Ringwood. Would you agree with that?
It's a pretty simple game, isn't it, when it gets like this? And look, I'm sure Peter's been saying exactly the same thing to his boys, that it's really just about putting your nose over the footy for 4 quarters today, and the team that's prepared to do it for the longest will find that they win more contests and have more forward entries and opportunities to score. And well, we've spoken about that, obviously, and I think, we're playing on our ground, and we like to think that we can play our ground quite well. And look, we don't want to make it a shootout sort of, down the line messy game of footy. I think that the boys in the twos there have been saying that the ground's holding pretty well and that the ball's holding quite well. So we want to be still able to move the ball with a bit of aggression and a bit of direction as well.
Joe, your president, enlightened us on some of the problems that you've had as far as players being available and all that type of thing for various reasons, injuries and going to the ranges and all this type. How hard has it been for you as a coach to sort of try and get some settlement in your side?
Look, we played, I think we played somewhere like 50-plus players last year, and we've certainly cut that down a little bit this year. And look, we're keen to give young blokes an opportunity, and we've still got a lot of young guys that are playing this week. We had a couple of injuries, serious injuries to I guess guys that would carry a bit of experience around the club, such as Stephen and Liam Kenny and Ryan Minahan and those sort of guys pre-season. So, look, it's not like we've lost those guys. We knew that was the case, and we've moved on, I guess. And hopefully, Liam played his first game back today, which is terrific, and we're starting to filter a few more back in. But look, as you said, the roller coaster with some of the VFL guys can be a little bit frustrating. I know they get really frustrated by it, but that's the nature of the beast. You go into that sort of stuff with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you you played South Croydon last week, and obviously there were some positives to come out of that game. What did you take out of even though you lost last week, what did you take out of it? And was there some signs there that you were happy with what's starting to come through?
Look, I thought we started the game off really well. I thought our first quarter was terrific. Look, our biggest problem is that we can't sustain at the moment, we can't sustain that sort of good footy for long enough. And partially that's the inexperience of some of our guys. And when they start when the opposition starts coming back at them, they struggle a little bit to find the way through again. But look, we're happy with some of the footy that we play. Our forward line hasn't been able to get us enough goals yet. Rain Harris had a really good game last weekend, his best game. And look, one of the things I think for Rain is that he'd turned his back on the VFL and said, I want to play at Knox. And I think that for him, there was a clear space in his head. He played his best game as a result.
There's a few kids that played in the interleague squad, and a couple that really impressed. It's not all doom and gloom, as it never is at most footy clubs, but your footy club has got this host of players that have come through the 19s in the last couple of years that are really going to start to build, hopefully, the building blocks for the Knox in the next couple of years.
Yeah, look, and we've just got to be patient and understand that it's going to take some of these guys a bit of time. Harry Greaves has been good, Deck Forbes, Ryan Johnson's out there playing in our development team today. All those guys were part of the squad for the interleague team, and we've got young Zach Robinson turned 18 just the other week, and Gavin Lowe's come from the bush, but he's still only 18. So there's not a lot of senior footy experience at times on the ground. But we're prepared to be patient because we recognise that that's the way that our club's going to grow and get stronger, and that these guys are good footballers. They're just going to take a bit of time.
We've talked about Willow leaving mid-season, and obviously it's a massive loss, but it does open the door for a few of those players to get a real genuine senior crack at it through the back half of the season. Yeah, look, and it's not just a challenge for the guys that are walking out in the 22 each week to play senior footy. It's a real challenge for our club. Willow's a terrific fella and has been a really galvanising force for our football club. But look, it's going to be an interesting time for the club to fill that hole that Willow leaves. But I think the players, they've known for a while, so it's not a great shock to them. They're ready to move on and take up the fight. Well, all the best of luck for this afternoon's game. It's certainly one that's going to shape the rest of your season, so all the best. Enjoy the call, boys.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks very much to David Madigan, the senior coach of the Knox Football Club, and all the best of luck to him this afternoon in what is an integral game in shaping up Knox's season. I know we keep bringing up Luke Williams, but the one thing that really comes to mind when we talk about Luke Williams at Knox is Nick Rewalt.
Yes.
How vital, how well loved, and pivotal to not only the team but the footy club he is. Much like Nick Rewalt is at St Kilda.
Look, it's testament to the man himself, because everybody in the Eastern Football League knows that Luke Williams over the years has had some great offers from other First Division clubs, but he has opted to stay with Knox right all the way through. And as Joe, the president, said, he puts his hand up to play interleague and all this other stuff. I just feel that he's a great player. There's no doubt about that. You've only got to look at his record, but it's just his presence out on the ground. I think that makes the Knox young players stand a bit taller.
I would dare say that since Knox have been in First Division, right, if you're looking for one player that's probably been the most consistent player in the EFL Division 1 since Knox have been up, he is definitely one of the premier players, Ray.
Brash, I would stay here, and I don't know what the record is, but the whole time they've been up in Division 1, he wouldn't have been out of the top 6 in the Chandler Medal every year. Every year.
And I think too, I actually think, right, it's a testament to a footballer that a side that Knox of only winning 4 games to come away with the biggest honour, right, is an achievement that, only good footballers can achieve, because you're up against so many good footballers.
The thing about Luke Williams, though, he's not a one-position player either. He can play in the ruck, he can play in the midfield, he can go down into a key position, back or forward position. He's just an all-round footballer.
He's the genuine definition of a utility player. I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but he is an actual utility. When we were talking about...
You mean the old time, really, like the follower?
Yeah. Well, when we were talking about teams of the year last year, and I think he got named... I can't even remember where he got named. He might have got named on a half-forward flank. And someone sort of questioned it. I said, well, I could have named him on a half-forward flank. I could have named him a half-back flank. I could have named him a second ruck.
Yeah, I know.
But he is just one of those sort of players. We might move on. We'll do a quick preview of the other games going on around the Eastern Football League. We might just get sort of the pick of the games and take it from there. We're slowly running out of time.
Where we start in Div1?
I might remind Ben. We'll start with Division 4.
Division 4?
Yeah. I'll remind Ben that it is 20 minutes to game time. So if he wants to get here at some point, that would be delightful.
Okay.
Starting with, I'll run through the games and then we'll touch on a key couple of them. Eastern Line, Surrey Park, Ferntree Gully, Whitehorse, Forest Hill, Coldstream, Kilsyth, Glen Waverley Hawks and Nunawading, Donvale. Definitely the pick of the games there, Kilsyth, Glen Waverley Hawks.
It certainly is, and I picked last night on the huddle Glen Waverley Hawks. I just think that, they got run over last week, but I think they'll come back onto the winners list.
I'm going the other way around with Adam Min out for 3 weeks, being their leading goal kicker for the season. I think that could be enough to put Kilsyth on the line.
Brash, just on that point though, the weather conditions here, no one's going to kick a bag of goals today.
No, I understand that,
anyway.
but I think the conditions actually playing to Kilsyth's hands today.
And another interesting game, just quickly, Dyson, Eastern Lions and Surrey Park. I saw Eastern Lions last week, and I think they'll run over Surrey Park today.
Division 3, Churnside Park, Baronia, Heathmont host Scoresby, Sylvan take on Park Orchard, South Belgrave and Ringwood, Templestowe and Warrandyte in the Stop One Punch Can Kill Cup, and Upper Ferntree Gully host the Basin. There's a couple in there that are certainly going to be intriguing games.
Yeah, well, the one that stands out is Upper Gully in the Basin, and I just think that under the conditions we got today, that is going to be one hell of a tough game of football up there by both sides, because they like it tough, don't they, Bresh?
Oh yeah, and Kings Park will be.
It'll be beautiful, mate. What are you talking about?
It'll be great. It'll be great, but I mean, remember we went up there similar type game last year, and it was a really bruising encounter. And between these two sides, and Upper Gully got away with it.
Do you think that Upper Gully's got a must-win today to prove the point that last week just wasn't? No.
I think they do. Well, it's no point grabbing an extra 4 points that no one expected you to get when you drop the next game.
Yeah, no,
and you're back to square
exactly
one.
Right.
Round 8 in Division 2, Bayswater take on Wanturna South, Croydon take on East Burwood, Lilydale host Doncaster East, Mitcham, Murrelback and Mulgrave Waverley Blues. Pick of the games here, there's plenty.
I reckon Bayswater and Wanty South looks like the game here.
Lilydale, Doncaster East after last week's results.
Yeah, look, Bayswater's form's been fantastic. Wanty South disappointing last week, Ray.
They've been up and down all year, Breast. They haven't played that regular football they play at Walker Park, Walker Reserve this year that they do other years. And the other one is Doncaster East. To me, that's a danger game going up to the LSO to play Lilydale.
Yeah, even the best First Division sides that went up there last year, they struggled at that ground. So, Donny East, if they can win up there, it's going to be 8 point for them too, I reckon.
In Division 1, Baldwin South Croydon, Blackburn East Ringwood, Knox North Ringwood, of course, our radio game this afternoon, Noble Park Doncaster, Norwood Montrose and Vermont Roval.
Well, obviously the standout game this afternoon is Vermont versus Roval, and Roval have been crippled a little bit with injury this round and suspension. That tips the favour in Vermont, and I think if Vermont ever get a chance to knock Roval over, this is the day, especially at Tarara Road.
Yeah, look, there are 3 main midfielders out of that Roval side, and I'm selecting Vermont, but I think the conditions will help Roval a little bit rather than if it was a dry day.
And Dyson, in an upset, I'm going to tip. I haven't been very impressed with Noble Park's form this year, and I actually going to tip the upset because I reckon Doncaster with Jaden Hooper back in that side is going to go down there. I reckon they can get the job done this afternoon.
They've never played at the ball
Doesn't
ring,
matter.
Bresh. Won't make any difference.
No.
That pretty much wraps us up. We're getting close to game time. We might throw back to the studio for one last break and then we'll preview the eyes out of this one. It's Knox and North Ringwood here at Knox Gardens Reserve on Pancake Parlour EFL Game Day.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership.
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I could put together a really cool playlist.
Frank Sinatra.
Elton John.
Beethoven.
John Lennon.
Boy bands.
A lot of 90s.
I'd certainly not be opposed to people dancing.
Finger food.
Party pies.
Homemade pickles. I'd like some cakes. There will be fairy bread.
Twinks.
I have a thing for pink lemonade.
And lots of coffee.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Nothing better than a companion to keep you up to date with all the latest when you're at the footy. Better still, one that fits in your back pocket. The Eastern Footballer is a must-read. All the latest information, team lists, feature articles and much, much more. Pick up your copy this weekend as you love it local across the Eastern Football League. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. The latest news and views on Facebook. Don't miss EFL Game Day or the Match Footage Hub on YouTube. And all those happy snaps on the league's Instagram account. Simply search Footy EFL. The EFL is all you love about football. Standing in the outer with your mates, kick to kick on the ground with the kids, always a family-friendly atmosphere. Don't miss a moment every weekend across the eastern suburbs. The Eastern Football League is local footy at its best. For more information, jump onto efl.org.au or search Footy EFL on Facebook or Twitter.
Saturday night is party night on Radio Eastern when we bring you the Platter Parade, 7 till 10. We roll through 50 years of timeless classics, guaranteed to make your party go with a swing. So put on your dancing shoes and join our team of presenters for the Platter Parade. More than just the hits, Saturday nights at 7. Oh, and you don't even need a partner.
And I'm William Broome. Don't miss the greatest hits from the 60s, 70s and 80s on It's Time, Saturday nights at 6 o'clock on Radio Eastern 98.1.
EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
On paper, it doesn't seem all that impressive, but the paper of the Eastern Football League, Eastern Footballer reads that these two sides sit 11th and 12th midway point through the Eastern Football League season. North Ringwood, seven games played, they're 1-6, a percentage of 71.3. And the side that's just run out onto Knox Gardens Reserve, the Knox Falcons, they're 1-6, a percentage of 43.70. With the weather and the teams that are on board this afternoon, it's not going to be the most delightful of clashes for the eyes, but it's certainly one nonetheless that's going to have a major impact on the rest of the Eastern Football League season in Division 1. We saw last year that relegation in a couple of divisions was decided right in the dying moments. Could this be the case that one of these sides may evade that early on in the season? Wayne Brasher, your thoughts?
Sorry, Dyson.
Turns your mic on?
Yeah, would help. Look, having a look at all the circumstances, Knox have got a really good home record. Regardless, I know there's only saying they're 1-7 or 1-6, but I reckon there's something about them today. I reckon, obviously with Luke Williams, leaving the club, and I don't want to finish on a high this afternoon and not take anything away from North Ringwood. I think they probably have a little bit of a class edge. But I just think that just at home today, for the sake of the competition, I'd love to see Knox win, and I'll tip them this afternoon.
And I'm going along with you as well, Brash. I just think that I think that home ground advantage is a huge factor here at Knox. Secondly, North Ringwood to me, and I haven't seen them in the flesh, but I get the impression that they're more of a high-marking, dry weather side than what Knox would be. Yep. And so I'm certainly picking. I think Knox will win by 3 goals.
There you go. So, look, I'm still, to be honest, I'm still undecided, and I'm probably going to make my mind up once North Ringwood run out on the ground.
What will that tell you?
I don't know. I really don't.
That will tell you run out of time. You've got to make a decision.
or just reminding me that there are two sides out there. The one thing that I was going to ask Peter Banfield, but we sort of ran out of time in the end, was about the mosquito fleet that they've got and always had for the last couple of years, but they add into it this year a guy like Charlie Haley, who is the perennial small forward.
He's kicked 11 goals, so he's had a good season.
Can mark overhead. He's evasive. He's agile. I just really like the way he goes about it. And it's guys like him, Jack Whelan, we know how good he is. Those younger guys that are really going to make the difference. I think both these sides are full of a few, 25 to 30-year-olds who have become household names, but they're not all that in terms of star players.
Yep.
Guys that we've got used to for both sides. Rory Harback, Anthony Sharp. Matty Weeks is another one. That guys that have been around for quite a few years.
Heath Decker's another one.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Right.
And then on the flip side of the coin, you talk about guys like Scott Davis. Luke Williams is obviously a superstar in his own right, but Jared Lepore is another one. As I just work my way down the list, but
Joel McGowan, when he's also been a very good footballer, but injuries really curtailed his output, gentlemen.
I just think the battle between the two youngest, the key young players in this game, guys like Declan Forbes, Harrison Greaves, who were both still under 19s kids, playing regular senior footy, and then on the flip side of the coin, guys like Jack Whelan, who's still only 23. Jacob Cullen Hall, of course, came across from Warrandyte in the off-season as well. And then a guy like, as I mentioned, Charlie Haley. It's really going to be an intriguing battle.
One interesting point about this game also, guys, is this is the only time that these two teams play each other all year. And because of their positions on the ladder, as you say, Brash, it is definitely an 8-point game.
Well, it is, because considering both sides, when they probably looked at this fixture probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, looking at their current form and who they were playing, they've probably been building up to this game, I reckon. And I think, like I said, if it was being played at Quamby, I'd probably go for North Ringwood, because I agree with you. I think home field, especially home field, is a massive advantage. Even on days like today.
It's going to be an intriguing clash, that's for sure. Knox were at very early.
Yeah, they
were.
were.
Very early. It's only just gone 2 o'clock now, so Knox have probably been out for the last 5 minutes or so. North Ringwood's still yet to come out onto the ground.
But that's not... Sometimes you see that happening because, the coach likes them to get out there, get used to the conditions, rather than just coming out and starting the game.
One bloke I'm actually looking forward to, and I think he's going to have to step up to the mantle a little bit, and he's been showing promises, Jack Beach, number 11. He'll probably play in the ruck or probably down forward. He's a good-looking athlete. He can strike the ball. He can kick the ball a long way. I reckon we're not far off seeing the best of Jack Beach, I reckon. Maybe today will be his day.
A slender call team this afternoon. Myself, not slender in by means of body composition, but we are a couple short. Obviously, the wet weather deterring a few media team members away from duties this afternoon. Myself and Ben Warren Smith, once he finally gets into the commentary position, he's just trailing around at the moment, looking for something to do, and doesn't realise that it's 5 past 2.
Sydney are on the same time as us. He should know what the time is.
That doesn't help.
I know. As I said last night on the huddle...
He's probably learning his numbers.
As I said last night on the huddle, I want to be the broadcast manager of the Eastern Football League, because you can just mosey in, do the huddle, you can turn up at the start of the bounce and take your place. It's such an easy job. Where the hell is he?
I'm waiting for him to come back just so you can actually give him that bake in person. As I mentioned, Ray Baird and Wayne Brasher will be in special comments this afternoon, and for the first time on Boundary, Will DeJong. He's a debutant. Obviously been around for the last couple of weeks, but a debutant on air. Very good afternoon to you, mate.
Yeah, no, first time with the Boundary boys. Looking forward to it despite the conditions, as we're waiting for the Ringwood boys to come out. But looking forward to it, boys.
The one thing I said to Will, Will obviously came down with us and helped out with social media at the interleague game, and he was part of a call team that went to Simmons Stadium, sat up in a corporate box, got fed a 2-course meal after the game with free beverages, and I said, mate, don't worry, it's not going to be all this for the rest of the season.
It just went downhill after that,
and the next game he comes out to, it's raining at about 6 degrees, so welcome to the team, mate.
Yeah, and I've been sick for about 4 days, mate, so thanks for that. But it's good to be here, boys. Cheers for having me on.
So, Will, have you got a tip on on who's going to win?
Well, based off what you boys have been saying in the pre-game, obviously I'm not as informative as you boys, but Knox, they do suit these conditions. So it is wet and raining. There's not a lot of wind in the air, but the ground's a bit slippery. So I reckon the Knox boys will get up today, but we'll just have to wait and see.
That was a nice touch. North Ringwood were lining up for the North Ringwood side. North Ringwood ran out, and then they remained lined up for the umpires and clapped them through as they walked out onto the ground.
Yeah, gee, that'll be the last time that'll happen.
No, but they weren't the umpires that umpired the reserves game. That's why.
That's true. Wait until they get a couple of cans into them.
Yeah.
Both sides out on the ground and ready for a start. This one's going to be an exciting game. For mine, I think Knox get up at home. I genuinely think that's the only difference between these two sides at the moment. Their form's been a bit up and down throughout the season, both sides, but I just think Knox will be too good this afternoon.
Will, have you got a weather forecast? Have you been out on the ground? What's the ground like?
Yeah, I have been out on the ground, Ray, and it's whilst it's been sprinkling rain for about 3 or 4 hours, but the ground seems to absorb it pretty well. Besides a few puddles around the boundary, the ground's holding up all right. Still a bit slippery, of course, and not a lot of wind in the air, so just wet and slippery today.
Channel 9 out and about this afternoon, doing a bit of promotion for The Voice, I think it is. So great to have them down here as always and trying to do all their work. And Will Taylor's spent the last 25 minutes over there talking, talking to the promotional
What's he trying
staff.
to get on the show, is he?
I'm sure he is. He's got a lovely voice, old Will.
Yeah.
So very good afternoon to Will Taylor.
Hi, Will.
If you're watching the stream, that is Will Taylor. To be honest, I'm actually waiting to get a tip from Ben, but he still hasn't arrived. That's the warning siren to get this game underway, and he still hasn't made his way to the commentary box.
And Dyson, a very good crowd's turned out. It's all here on the members' wing underneath the cover, of course, right where, and we're in the midst of it all. But sometimes when the weather's like this, a lot of people decide to stay at home. But a good following because of both the position on the ladder with both these teams, and their supporters are willing to stick with them and come out.
I just love the fact that, look, at the end of the day, people will still come to the football because they want to support their side, rain, hail or shine, and it's no different here today.
Yeah, and the beauty of it, though, when you go to local football, if you want to, you can sit in the car and have the engine running and warm yourself up a little bit, and you can have a beer, you can have a pie, you can talk a lot of rubbish with your mates and tell them how good you were when you played and all that type of thing.
Except without the alcohol.
and everyone else has to listen to us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, both sides going through their warm-ups. One of the guys that I failed to mention as part of our little preview was Aaron Fenton, who, when you're talking about North Ringwood lacking outside runners, it's because they got packed with blokes like Aaron Fenton. I think he recorded an Eastern Rangers high last year for tackles. I think he had about 16 or 17 tackles in a game, and played in the under-19s interleague squad. He's another one alongside Jack Whelan that forms probably part of that Mosquito fleet. Todd Morgan's another one. None of them over about 5'6", but certainly going to make the difference in this game.
And I was just looking at Thomas Hill out there. We know that he was a goal kicker here. He went away last year and came back to North Ringwood. He's a tall guy too, isn't he, Brash?
He is, but he's actually a quality footballer. I mean, we saw him tear up Division 2 when North Ringwood played in their premiership year. He's a quality player, Ray. I'm glad to have him back.
Yeah, he certainly. And talking about
glad to have him back.
Glad to have people back. We'll wait till he puts his headphone. It is glad to have you back, BWS. You know that I've got my eye on your job next year because you can mosey in and do the huddle when you want to. You can turn up right on bounce time at the game. I'm after your media manager, broadcast manager's job next year. What do you got to say for yourself? Come on.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me out here today at Knox Gardens Reserve.
Just a whack straight up.
Flew in straight from Sydney, straight out to the ground, woke up on my chiropedic mattress, went to A1 Airport parking, and then I just slid on down here.
And just forgot to turn up to the football, that's all.
I got here just in the nick of time. It's torrential rain in Sydney, actually, and I tell you what, it's not much better down here either. So got here in the nick of time.
We've had light drizzle for the last 5 hours. What are you talking about? That's not torrential rain.
It was in Sydney, Ray.
He's in a bit of, you've come in on Ray Baird in a bit of a mood.
It was a very good pre-match though, guys. Listened to it in the car the whole way down, and great to be back out here once again at Knox Gardens Reserve. It's been a couple of years, and couple of years since we've seen Knox. Couple of years now since we've watched the Saints play, of course, during their good years in Divisions 3 and 2. We saw them quite a bit, so it's great to see them in Division 1 action, Dyson.
Just looking at I think North Ringwood are going to kick to the Argyle Way, or the right-hand side of your radio dial. Knox, obviously, to the school end. Your tip as we get underway?
North Ringwood just.
As the umpire holds the ball aloft, we get underway for the first time this afternoon. Bit of a 0-0 draw in the ruck. I think they'll probably give that to Beach. Trying to get away off the back there was Harbeck, not going anywhere. North Ringwood get the first possession out of the middle off the boot of Whelan. Up in the direction there of Van Unen. Couldn't do much with it. Just sits right on the 50-metre arc.
Wolfenden.
Wolfenden. You have to say it like that for the rest of the afternoon now. Van Unen, third man up in the ruck, tried to get it away. Trying to gain possession there was Davis, but he was tackled harshly by Aaron Fenton. There we go. First tackle in, 40 seconds in.
Umpire throws it up, a little quick kick there by Scott. That was smothered. Knox might get the clearing kick here. There's a lot of players around this football. Diving on top of it there was Davis. Right over the top of him was Harback. Umpire said all was fair. And no, he didn't actually in the end. It was the slow decision, but a free kick will go the way of North Ringwood. So Rory Harback, he's about 50 metres out from goal here. You can see Fenton just trying to create a little bit of space here. Kicks a centering kick about 30 metres out from goal. Nicely picked up there by, I think that was the player in, I'm going to say McCarthy, but we've got a number 70. Do we know who number 70 is out there on the park for the Knox Football Club?
No, it's either Waterman, Hannon or Hanegraaff. It's so we'll have to try and get our boundary rider right onto that if you have a look, Will.
So 35 out from the North Ringwood goal. All the territory so far going their way. Jack Whelan got his handball away. He was dispossessed there by Greaves, and now Knox a chance to go through the outer side. Williams kicks up wide. Tarachuta couldn't take the mark. There for North Ringwood, centre wing. Right in front of the scoreboard. It's held up once again. We're going to have a ball up.
It's going to be one of these days, Ray, where it's just going to be stoppage after stoppage, I feel.
That's right, Brash. It's going to be probably what we would call ugly football by the end of the day.
Rain still coming down. Ball on centre wing. Tried to get the tap away there, Beach. Went in and picked it up. Nice tackle there from, that was Davis on Whelan. Umpire calls for the ball back.
Such a good player, Jack Whelan.
Yep.
Gone 2 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. You can see that in the background. Jack Whelan just throws his body in once again. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 2.5 minutes into this first term. It's nice and clear. We heard Ray Baird praise it in pre-match. Loving the white numbers. Knocked down there by Beach. Really to no one in the end. Haley tried to trap the football, but once again, another stoppage. Keep the scores coming through all afternoon at Footy EFL via Twitter. Plenty of great games as you go local for your football this afternoon. Nicely trapped there by Williams. Got a little handball away, and now Knox will get their first genuine chance to go forward here. You would think kick goes into the middle of the ground where Robinson, wearing the helmet, takes the mark. Kicks it straight into the man on the mark now, and now the Saints will get a little chance to go forward. Here's Weeks, pops it up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football. Locko released the football well then. Running into goal, and we're missing another player. Might have been Fenton then. I thought that was number 13 for
33.
Brash,
Ringwood. First score on the board though, just to cut you off there, Brash, and it's one behind. North Ringwood have the lead.
Brash, a little bit of nerves there by the Knox player kicking into the man on the mark. He obviously didn't go back far enough. We could see that going to happen.
Yep, he really did actually telegraphed it, really.
Yeah.
So it would be Jordan to do the kick-in duties. Indecisive as the play moves. Now he goes to the commentary side wing, a pack of fly. Williams on the third grab manages to take it. And now quickly gives his handball away, running Tyler. Kicks it up towards half-wide, pretty open in the forward half there for Knox. The only man out there to take the mark was Jones for North Ringwood.
So Jones wants to switch the play now and does so. Kicks it across the face where Wood takes the mark on his chest. Kicks it up towards the wing position. Ursic. So a couple of clean disposals here for the Saints as they try to work themselves forward. Kick goes up towards the half-forward line, over the top of all players, running out of bounds eventually. About 35 metres out from the North Ringwood goal line, they lead this game by 1 point.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting. Here's Will.
Yeah, boys, so we've actually got a couple of outs. I'm trying to find out who's come out on side, but Waterman, number 55, will also come in the late inclusion. So you'll see him out there with the ponytail, I think that is. And I'll try to find out who's come out of the team for you, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Number 70 we're after as well, Will.
Just track that one down as well, boys. Thank you.
Speaking of Wills, Will Taylor's still over at the Channel 9 tent. We'll keep you updated on that one all afternoon as Haley snaps out of the pack up to the top of the goal square. Van Unen the target there. Tried to get away from his opponent, just couldn't do so at the last minute. Shepherd put his body on the line there for North Ringwood. Plenty of numbers ran in Saints jumpers, just can't get it away, Michael Loco.
That should have been a free kick of holding the ball then.
And eventually the umpire blows the whistle about 35 metres out from the Saints goal.
I think the umpires might let this game go a little bit today.
So Williams, third man up. As we mentioned, the genuine utility of the Knox Football Club. Got his handball away. Good work there from Waterman. Just couldn't gain possession. Gives his handball back to Wolfenden. His kick wasn't all that flash, and it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds, about 60 metres round from the Knox goal. Sorry, North Ringwood goal, I should say.
Hasn't gone inside 50 for the Knox Football Club yet. Is that a worrying sign, Brash?
No, I'm not yet, BWS.
Higher, throws it in. It is going to be a scrappy game. Over the football there was Black. Harbeck right on his hammer. Umpire said, give it back to me, and we'll start this one once more. Big fly there by Beach. Went up that time against McKinnon. Umpire says, let's have another bounce.
You think the rain's bad here? Have a look at Metricon Stadium on the Gold Coast. It's blown it sideways.
Holy moly. Kick off the ground there by Wolfenden. Was half smothered in the end, but coming through there was Powell. He was charging after it. Knox might get a chance here through the arms. There is a number 13 out there, Dyson, as it comes out now to 55, and it's annoying that we don't have these numbers as it kicks up towards the wing position. Slams it on the chest there of Lowe. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. It's a one-on-one situation. Going after it there was Harris, but nicely knocked away by Heath Decker.
I thought that was very good play by Lowe then. Look, he kicked it to a one-on-one as quickly as he could, and I think that's what they had to do, just to get the ball down there.
So, Tarachuda had the front spot there. Snap around the body there by Wolfenden. Pushes it to the left-hand side. Boundary. The crowd were getting up and about then. Scores are level here. 7.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. That's crosstown boundary side. Thanks to chiropractic betting. Here's Will.
Thanks, mate. It's Luke Hannon, number 70, boys, who's come into the side in the late inclusion.
Thanks very
Sharp
much,
as
Will.
always. So, short chip kick in, finds its target, but no mark taken. There was 2 free kicks, both missed by the umpire there.
The second player had his head pulled off, from the high tackle, and the first one we definitely had his hands in his back.
So ball thrown up once again, about 40 metres round for the Knox goal. Shepherd tries to get it away in the long sleeves, eventually gets his kick away. Umpire said he was slung as he kicked it. So it'll be a free kick. Coming back to Shepherd on defensive 50. One behind a pace. He goes right back to the goal line. I think that's Jones. Been happening off the ball with Charlie Haley. No surprises there. Big fly came from the back with Robinson. Quickly plays on, gets it inside forward 50. No mark taken at the back of the pack. Trying to get it away there was Black. Still a chance here for Knox as they try and push forward. And it's held up once again, going nowhere.
Yeah, I've got a few little stats here, Dyson. Inside 50s, 3 to North Ringwood, 2 to Knox. Centre clearances, 1 to Knox, none to North Ringwood, and stoppages 3 apiece.
Number 34 also Will for Knox. We'd like to find out who that is as the kick goes up towards the wing position now for North Ringwood. Charging through was Rory Harbeck. Somehow released a tackle. A little bit crude there by Lepore. Pi said it was okay. Picked up there by Rafferty. Slams it on his boot. Goes inside forward 50. It's pretty rough football out here at the moment. Picked up by Ursage. His kick went across towards the Shepherd direction. He couldn't quite drop the ball, but he got a ticky touchwood free kick, I tell you what.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's all good, Will. We sorted it out.
After a nervous start there, Brash, Knox now seem to be the side that's controlling the ball.
Yeah, they are, and they can't put it on the scoreboard just yet.
Shepherd under a lot of pressure to try and get the disposal away. Goes in the Van Unit direction. Can't quite find him. Back of the pack, Scott.
Nice
gains
kick.
possession. Just a little chip kick over the top, finds Jones.
That was great vision then by Scott.
He's well off his line. Got to be called play on. Snaps around right on the right boot. That's one's going to swing back, just not far enough. And through from one behind. North Ringwood, 2 behinds, 2 points. Knox, 1 behind, 1 point. 10 minutes gone, first term here on AFL Game Day. Of course, all thanks to the Pancake Parlour.
The BWS, that would have taken you back to your St Kilda days. Number 14, the old Jimmy O'Day, mate. A great player for St Kilda.
It's Tony Lockett's first number when he joined the Saints as well. Before he took on the
BWS
number
wouldn't
4.
remember Jimmy O'Day.
Kick comes in there by Jordan. No chance. Huge fly over the back and a free kick's been given. The advantage will be paid here. Here's Jones. He arches it back for a 50. Can he put the first one on the board for the Saints? He pushes it to the right-hand side. So 2 behinds in a minute for North Ringwood on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 11 minutes into this first term. They lead it by 2 points. 3 behinds to 1.
That was a huge kick there as far as distance went, but just a little bit of inaccuracy.
Around the grounds, Doncaster 2-2 lead Noble Park yet to score. Early stages first term. Kick comes out commentary side once again. Luke Williams the target. Knox regained possession off the fumbled kick. Up towards centre wing. That's a great kick for touch. That's deliberate in the AFL these days.
As I was going to say, then the AFL, he's pinned that one.
I actually reckon the way the game's pounding out, each side, the way they're playing, are having 2 or 3 minutes where they're controlling the ball, and they've got to, at each time, they've got to take make hay while the sun shines on it.
Yeah,
no sun shining today, Brash.
No.
Ball thrown in true centre wing here at Knox Gardens Reserve commentary side. Shepherd got to be kicking in danger. And it was. That'll be a free kick going the way of Knox. Got a 43 as well. So
see what happens when I don't do the team sheets.
Well, I showed you the team sheet before. I blame the Knox Football Club. Apologies, but that's now 4 numbers that we don't have.
Well, we're blaming the state of origin in Sydney because that's where all your time's been wrapped up this week.
Another little backhander from Ray Bed.
So you've been saving this up, Raymond.
Throws it in. And we'll have a bounce. So right in front of the grandstand here, there's a good atmosphere under here this afternoon. Of course, with the wet weather, everybody is huddling under and keeping warm. Player throws it up. Little knock over the back there by Greaves, then picked up there by Black. On the right boot, inside forward 50, and getting down low and taking a strong mark for the Knox Football Club is Zach Robinson, and he'll go back and have a ping from about 45 out, almost directly in front.
A perfect example of how you play forward on a wet day. You must be in front. It was a shonk of a kick, didn't go much height whatsoever, and if you're in front, most of the time you'll get it.
Now he's got to convert here.
So Robinson backing himself in here, just really poked at it at the end, but it's going straight, and it was true too. Umpire gives a 2-finger salute, and the Knox Football Club draw first blood here in the first term. They move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 1-1-7. They're leading it by 4 points. 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, and it's a goal that Knox had to kick, Brash, because they've had the momentum in the last 3 or 4 moments, and as you pointed out, when you've got the momentum, you've got to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, North Ringwood have had opportunities to put scoreboard pressure on, but a couple of misses has given Knox an early advantage.
Ball back in the middle once again, or not yet. Players back in the middle without the ball.
I'll give you some more stats here. Inside 50s. North Ringwood 5, Knox 5 as well.
That sounded like you just made it up, Brash.
No.
The clearances aren't nil all, are they, Brash?
No.
That's what he's never going to live down.
Now it's 1 each.
There we go. North Ringwood get the clearing kick away out of the midfield. Trying to bust through a pack there was Tarachuda. And held up once again to tackle there by Tyler. So about 50-odd metres out from the North Ringwood goal. Grab it on first touch there was Rafferty, who was held up well by Whelan. And going nowhere in the end. 40 minutes gone, first term here on AFL Game Day, of course, all thanks to the Pancake Parlour.
Nicely
down
done,
on that occasion
Williams.
by Beach, and now they're away. Nice kick off the back of the pack there, Lepore. Picks it up towards half forward. Numbers around probably favour North Ringwood, but they can try and get it out here through Greaves. Just couldn't get Boots a ball. And now North Ringwood a chance to clear back the other way.
And here's Jackie Whelan in the middle of the ground. He got dispossessed of the football. That nearly could have been a free kick there. Well done by Rafferty. Little kick off the ground. North Ringwood, they look like they just have a little bit of time here. Here's Tarrachuda inside forward 50. Van Noonan has the front spot knocked away from him. Knox had the numbers at the fall of the ball. Little handball out wide. That time it was looking for Stanek. Couldn't quite pick it up. The Saints, a little snap kick up to the top of the goal square, but in front was Shaw, and he traps the football, drives it out towards the half-back line. Whelan almost pulled in a ripper mark. Here's Harris on the right boot, another smother kick. It's about 35 metres out from the Saints goal line. Hitting the deck there was Cullen Hall right on his hammer. Paul Tyler, and the umpire will come in and bounce his football 40 metres out from the Saints goals.
So a few players starting to come to the fore. Matty Shepherd's been good.
Bit of holding on Van Noonan there.
And there it is. So it's been paid. So Van Noonan a chance to line up and put his sides first on the board this afternoon.
No, I think it's Tommy Hill shooting the goal.
Tommy Hill, boys.
Stitch me up a beauty.
Distance won't be any problem for Tommy Hill. Just the accuracy here.
Previous Old Trophies goal kicking superstar. Bang. And makes no mistake. That one's literally gone straight over the goal umpire's head. And North Ringwood have their first on the board. North Ringwood 139, a 2-point lead at the 16-minute mark of the first term. Knox 117 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I reckon the beauty of this game so far is I reckon ball possession would be around 50% each, Ray. I reckon they've controlled it for about 8 minutes each, and the score is basically nearly equal.
Yeah, no, you're dead right there. You know, North Ringwood were the side that jumped out of the blocks for the first 8 minutes or so, but then Knox got back into it, and then now North Ringwood have answered with their first goal.
Actually a pretty entertaining first term.
It is.
It is, yeah.
So ball back in the middle. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Tarrachuda got the knockdown that time. We'll cross down boundary shortly as the ball comes over. Here's McCarthy. Tried to get rid of the football wheel and spun out of trouble. Snapped it on the right boot going inside forward 50, looking for Loco. He gets down low and then beautifully brought to ground in a strong tackle as we cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, boys, it's Luke Williams has just come off. Just got a knock on the right knee. They're just getting that taped up so he can run out back there pretty quickly.
They want their star player back on the pitch. There's no doubt about that. Speaking of the pitch, that's where it's gone in the middle of the ground now. Nicely picked up there by Lowe. Slams it on his boot. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. At the back of the pack there was Greaves. He had to get a defensive push on it. Picked up there by Harris on the right boot. Kicks it out towards the wing position where a foot race will ensue. Charging after there was Fenton. But Knox have done really well here. Little handball over the top. Rafferty used his teammate there in Jordan. This way, that way. Under a fair old bit of pressure. Beautifully smothered there by Matty Sharp, and another smother as well, but the Saints are doing really well. They've got the numbers too. Right boot kick from Loco inside forward 50, looking for Hill, and the ball went right and out of bounds. It goes 20 metres out from the North Ringwood goals.
Gee, coaches love that sort of possession work, Ray.
You'd be forgiven for thinking there's 3,000 people here, sitting right underneath the grandstand here at Knox Gardens.
Best spot in the house.
So all thrown in once again. 25 round for the North Ringwood goal. Plenty of bodies go up. Beach, I think, won the tap down in the end there. McCarthy got it away towards half-back. Nice, great mark taken there by Hanegraaff.
That was a courageous mark. He put his body on the line. He could have been crunched from behind, but no eyes on the football.
Got plenty of numbers on the switch. Decides to go long down the line to a 2-on-1. Did really well there, Harrison Greaves. Gave an opportunity for Davis. And now they've got the numbers in their favour. Davis gets it back and kicks into touch about 25 metres further along the boundary line. It rolls over the boundary line and out of bounds, about 20 round from the Knox goal.
And both sides working the rotations here right in front of us.
Yeah, pretty heavily competitive game, as we saw from that passage of play just out here on the wing moments ago. The ball now be thrown back in. Tarrachuda tried to get it away. In the end, it fell over the back of both players. It's almost a push in the back. Umpire calls play on and now blows his whistle to hold it up once again.
So 40 metres out from the Knox goals, trailing by 2 points. Tarrachuda went after it again, and the Saints will be able to get out of this. Here's Morgan on the right boot, uses the far side, created a little bit of space, getting underneath it though. Robinson dropped what he probably should have taken, goes after again. Strong tackle there by Danny Wood, and the umpire said, I won't give you a free kick for that. I'll bounce it, but a great effort there from the backman. Rain has not stopped. Comes down now, Scott. Got a grubber of a kick up towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It did a wrong and stayed in. Charging after it there was Loco. Got down low, handball over the toppies. Jack Whelan outside the centre square. He might have been legged here. Umpire said play on. Here's Van Noonan on the right boot. Set sail for goal, and he puts it through. New little beauty. North Ringwood have their second on the board. Van Noonan has his first, and an early contender for the chiropedic goal of the day.
And Brash, before the game, we mentioned guys like the likes of Hill and Van Noonan who have got to stand up today, and they're their first 2 goal kickers. So at the moment, things are really going okay for North Ringwood.
Yeah, really important for North Ringwood to get off to a good start. They started well last week. They played very well, probably for 12 of the 20 minutes of this quarter. They're right in the mix at the moment.
And I noticed one of the umpires out there is Warren Hillier. He's made more comebacks than Dave Nellie Melba. He's been around a long time. Good umpire too.
Or Johnny Farnham.
Certainly has. Yeah, for those of us who were born this century. An update coming through from Moreton Park. Blackburn 5 behind 5 points lead. East Ringwood yet to score. So it's not just bad weather football here. It's right across the eastern suburbs. There's a free kick's been paid out. Looks like it'll go the way of Wolfenden.
So that's a BKBF, is it, that you said the other night? Bad kicking's bad football.
Certainly is. Of course, thanks to Noel McPhee from the stats bench for that one. Knox just trying to work their way out of defence. In the end, they do well through Shaw.
What Knox are doing now, they're trying to slow the game down a little bit because North Ringwood's got the momentum.
Great kick.
Yep. And almost a great mark taken there by Hannon. Couldn't hold on to it, and now a chance on the overlap to try and make something of it here through Scott for North Ringwood.
Good spot.
Kicks inside forward 50. I think it's Loco all by himself. No, Matty Weeks. And Weeks marks 25 metres out from goal on a slight angle.
The trouble then with Knox, because they were slowing the game down, they had too many players running forward of where the football was going to go. And it was turned over, and of course they were caught out on the overlap.
Yeah, at the moment, North Ringwood are really controlling the inside 50, 12-5, and that's pretty damning early on.
So Weeks, yet another. He's done very well on that occasion, and the third on the board for the North Ringwood Football Club. And move on to 3-3-21, Knox 117, 22 minutes gone here in the first term on AFL Game Day if you're listening on 98.1 Radio Eastern or streaming live at www.afl.org.au.
Yeah, David Madigan wouldn't have been happy with his players then because they had control of the ball. They did the right thing. They tried to slow it down, but too many of the players ran forward of the contest.
Well, he did kick the ball to a dangerous part of the ground too, Ray, on a 3-on-1. If they marked the ball, they were away, but they paid the penalty.
Ball back in the middle. Knox definitely need the next one. Nice tap there by Beach. I said play on. So good to see Williams back on with that leg taped. Only a couple of weeks away from heading on an overseas junket.
Next week, apparently, BWS.
Speak of the devil, here he is. He's brought down. He's a hard man to bring down too. Well done there by McKinnon for North Ringwood, and we'll have a bounce. So just waiting for a restart here. Beach, there was a little bit of holding going on there, and Van Noonan will take the free kick in the middle of Knox Gardens reserve. So he's weighing up his options here. He's got a man out wide there in Allison who made some good space. He's about 70 metres out here. Allison, he might even be able to go all the way. Instead, he goes to the pocket looking for the hill direction. At the fall, the ball was Loco over the boundary line, and out of bounds she goes.
North Ringwood spread, Ray, from the centre break is really hurting Knox at the moment on that half-forward line.
Yeah, no, you're dead right. And they're very conscious of Tommy Hill because 3 defenders went with him then.
It's not footy related, but reports coming through that Muhammad Ali's died at the age of 74.
Oh, you're kidding me.
As there's a rush behind.
I'll tell you what,
it's come through from about 5 different news sources within the space
I knew
of about 5
he was in
minutes.
hospital. I did hear that on the news.
Tell you what, he had a great life though, Muhammad.
Certainly did. North Ringwood 3-4-22. Leading Knox 1-1-7. Kick out long into the commentary side as it has been the last couple of times, and there'll be a free kick going the way of Luke Williams for pushing the back.
This is where they're falling down, the next possession.
They're Slowed the play down, it didn't work. Now they just decide to go long down the line. A pack of about 8 players fly. Couldn't take the mark there, Robinson. Now wins it at the full. The ball, nice work running through there was Waterman. Went without it, but still won the free kick.
Yeah, free kick against Black. He was hanging on to him.
So, Waterman true centre wing.
Lots of man buns out on the ground today, isn't it?
Now decides to go long, inside forward 50, looking for another option. Big fly came from the back there. I think it was Greaves.
Yep.
Couldn't take the mark. Now the Mosquito Fleet work at the bottom of the pack. Scott Carroll tried to get it away, but North Ringwood a chance to clear.
It goes up towards the wing position. Van Unien was the big flyer at the back. First player on it there was Stanek. Van Unien brought him down. He had support with Matty Weeks also, and we'll have a bounce on the wing.
With that rain stopped at the moment, look, the skills in this game are pretty good, aren't they?
I'm certainly impressed with it. Comes out now. Here's Lapore. Kicks it up towards the centre half forward. Nicely done there by Jones to create the spoil. Go after it again in there, trying to release a handball was Hanegraaff. And the umpire will bounce it. Centre half forward for the Knox Football Club. Very important that they get a goal on the board before the end of this first term, just to reduce that margin. They're currently trailing by 15 points. Umpires trying to let the ball go on here, but it'll eventually have to come in and bounce it.
They really do have to hold here, Knox. They can't afford North Ringwood to get another goal.
Well, it's down their end, so I'd say they'd be wanting to go for it. Holding the ball is being paid, and they'll have a genuine chance here.
Even with the wet ball, Brash, you'd still kick it long because, you know, the dangerous spot is right on the point of the goal square anyway.
And that's where your Rovers should be, front and square.
Front and centre, yeah. Not everybody going for the contest in Knox's favour.
So Mitch Hanegraaff.
But there still should be a short option come out of the goal square instead of just everyone standing there.
We saw the last kick on goal sail through from not much further out. He pushed it in the end. It's still going to fall in the hot spot. Big fly at the top of the goal square. North Ringwood tried to clear it, but a clearing kick goes turnover goal there.
No, it's a behind. It's a behind, I believe.
Behind.
Gone through for a point.
Looked like a goal from here. Maybe
you
we're
heard
on the wrong
crowd
angle.
go absolutely up and about, and everyone was celebrating as well. So lucky for North Ringwood there. That was almost a certain goal there for Knox. So 8 plays 22. And the Saints will get another chance to clear the ball out. Kick out towards the sharp direction at the back of the pack. He was just hoping it was going to fall in his lap, Anthony, and knocked over the boundary line right near Peter Banfield and the North Ringwood interchange. Try to bring the ball back into play now. Front spot, Beach got the knockdown. Whelan goes after it. Strong tackle by Lukey Williams, who the umpire said it's a little bit too crude. I think he's a little bit stiff. But nonetheless,
momentum cost him then.
the size difference is massive.
A little bit going off the ball up here in front of us to the right, boys, and Warren Hilly has picked it up. Free kick to Knox.
It should be a free kick where the ball is in the end, and then it will go to turnover. So here's Williams. He wastes absolutely no time and sends the ball inside forward 50. Scooped upon beautifully. Waterman around the body. Got enough curl. Fantastic kick there for Knox. Oh, what a big turnover that was from the wing position. Knox get their second goal. Waterman their first, and the crowd are getting right into this one. Margin back to 8 points.
Brash, you were right on song just a few moments ago when you said they had to have players front and centre, because that went to the marking contest at centre half forward, and Waterman was front and centre. He's picked it up and snapped it over his shoulder, and that's the goal that we spoke about that Knox had to get.
Yep.
Knox faithful just welcoming Matty Weeks to the bench.
Yeah, I'm sure his coach won't be welcoming him with open arms either.
No surprises. Direct
just keep them, Bruce.
Priorities from the audio tech, just reaching across every time he wants a lolly. Advantage played from the free kick.
Nice.
Jack Whelan kicks inside forward 50, finds Van Unien.
Beautiful.
Or was that Hill? No, I think it was Hill.
Hill.
Done it again, both
Hill.
with the man buns.
They do look similar.
And the sideburns as well.
The stats so far when we go to them are really showing North Ringwood's dominance in this first quarter.
He'll get the distance here. He's a long kick.
Chance to dominate once again on the scoreboard. Hill loads up from beyond 50, right on the stroke of quarter time. And it can't get it done in the end. It's one behind. So the score now 3-5-23 at quarter time. North Ringwood. Knox 2-2-14. An interesting quarter. Both sides had their chances in the first term. Goals to North Ringwood, Hill, Van Noonan and Weeks. While for Knox, it was Robinson and Waterman late in that term being able to get it. A 9-point lead in favour of North Ringwood here on Pancake Parlour AFL Game Day. Make sure you join us. This one's going to be a cracker.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A for A1 Airport Parking? At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
How would you like to be celebrated?
I think a barbie in the backyard would be nice.
I would go to the beach.
Possibly a costume party.
This sounds silly, but I'd like people to bring their pets.
I'd have a karaoke machine. What's coming to my head is an ice sculpture.
Lots of cakes.
Cheesecake.
Lemon meringue pie.
And probably every flavour of ice cream ever.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, they know that every life is unique and they think that every celebration should be too. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct for mattresses, bases, beds, electric beds, trundle beds, quality pillows, as well as custom-sized mattresses made to measure. Factory Direct locations around Melbourne and country Victoria. To keep up to date on the latest sales, fun facts and news, go to Facebook, search and like Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct, and you'll join over 17,000 Facebook fans. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Or shop online at chiropedic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. It's 20-3 and currently a very chilly 12 degrees in Melbourne's outer east, and it's showery. Now, just before we get to some AFL scores, a story that Dyson Baker during his call alluded to, and that is the great Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74. Legendary boxer Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74 in a Phoenix, Arizona hospital due to respiratory problems. Now, he's often considered the greatest boxer of all time, and Ali was the world heavyweight champion in the golden age of boxing in the 1960s and 70s, and his bouts against George Foreman and Joe Frazier are etched into fighting history. And Muhammad Ali suffered from Parkinson's disease for more than 3 decades. So just repeating, a short while ago, the news is coming through. Legendary boxer Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74 in a Phoenix, Arizona hospital due to respiratory problems. All right, let's check some AFL of games being played this afternoon. And the game at the MCG is between Hawthorn and Melbourne. And an interesting game indeed. And at quarter time, it was Hawthorn in the lead. Currently, it was 4-3-27 to 3 behinds, 3 points. And currently, it's the second quarter. And Hawthorn still have the lead, and currently it's Hawthorn 5-6-36 leading Melbourne 5-2-32. So Melbourne have kicked a couple of goals, 5-6-36 to 5-2-32. Goal kickers for the Hawks, Gunston has 2, Brewster 1, and 1 each to O'Brien, Rioli, Burgoyne and McAvoy. And for Melbourne, Dawes 1, Hogan 1, Petrarca, Tyson and Vandenberg 1 each. So Hawks just in front in that game. The other game this afternoon at Etihad Stadium is between Carlton and Brisbane, and that should be an interesting game. Brisbane towards the bottom and very improving Carlton. And currently it's the 27-minute mark of the first quarter. It's Carlton 4-3-27 leading Brisbane 3 behinds, 3 points. And that's more AFL scores updates a little bit later on. This is EFL Game Day. We're back to the game between Knox and out there at Knox Reserve in just a moment, right after this.
Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account. The latest news and views on Facebook. Don't miss EFL Game Day or the Match Footage Hub on YouTube. And all those happy snaps on the league's Instagram account. Simply search Footy EFL. Live and local every Saturday for Pancake Parlour EFL Game Day.
Can he bring the house down, Robbie? They go charging into Division 2. Stutter step, now sends it on its way. This one's going to go long. And straight through, Jim. lovely pass. Gee, that was poetry in motion, to use the cliche. Braden Cross, come at the moment, come at the man.
EFL Game Day, 1 through to 6, Saturdays at 9:00 Radio East. All thanks to the Pancake Club.
Boundary boys, got Dave down here ready to go.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Knox Gardens Reserve. Will De Jong down boundary side, all thanks to chiropractic betting with David Madigan.
Yeah, Dave, it's really interesting end to that quarter. Really important goal for Waterman to sort of harness a bit of momentum going into the second quarter.
Yeah, look, we only got 6 inside 50s for the quarter, so it was really about making the most of those opportunities. And look, it was terrific to see Dom finish off his work really well then.
And what were the key messages just the last minute of that huddle? I saw the groups broken up to their respective positions, but you had a word to the boys just at the end there all together.
Yeah, look, we thought we'd done a lot of things quite well that quarter. We really put it on our mids that quarter to lift a little bit because the centre bounces were probably our weakest part of the game. So we need to get draw even and get back on top in that area of the ground.
Lovely, thanks Dave. Back to you boys.
Great work there from Will with David Madigan, and we appreciate coaches giving up their time during the break. It was a quarter of 2 halves, or probably a quarter of about 6 sixes. It was 5 minutes here and there for both sides.
Yeah, there was probably 6 times that the momentum swung each way, but look, it was just North Ringwood just took advantage a little bit more on the scoreboard while they had that momentum. And as I said, when they had that momentum, Knox tried to slow it down, but there was just too many guys running forward of the football, and a turnover, that's when it hurts you.
Second quarter just about to get underway. North Ringwood head into it with a 9-point lead, 3-5-23 to 2-14. And we're going to have a secondary ball up. As wrapped up on that occasion was, wrapping up, wheeling there was Davis for North Ringwood. Tara Tudor gets his tap away, can't quite get any momentum on it, and we'll have a secondary ball up. So a few quarter time scores coming through. We'll try and collate those over the next couple of minutes and bring them all to you. As North Ringwood try and clear away. Good work off the back of the pack there. Hannon tried to make something out of nothing. Harbeck just tried to get his kick on the way, and now Shepherd was dispossessed. It was a great tackle. Fantastic work there from Marcus Jordan, and a genuine contender for the Pancake Parlour Player of the Day, Ben Warren Smith. Who still doesn't have his headset on?
No, I've got it on.
Oh, you
just
do?
Cleaning my glasses.
Certainly saw that one. It was hard to miss, and almost another one. So they're fierce in this second term. Trying to do everything inside forward 50. Bouncing ball goes over the head there of Wood, and now a chance as he puts on the afterburners for Lowe. Went around the back there of Robinson, trying to get it away, and now a kick comes on board and through from one behind. So making hard work of it, but still still have the first score on the board.
One thing that's evident that's just come out of that passage of play, David Madigan has obviously told his guys that he wasn't happy with their rate of tackling, because there's been 3, 4 maybe terrific red tackles there by the Knox side.
So Tim Jones for the Saints to kick the ball in. It was a nice, neat one too. Matty Scott takes it.
Not much movement for him.
So Scott takes off now. Enjoying using that far side of the ground today. Got it out. Van Noonan got a nice little giveaway, and now Tara Tudor got the handball back in board. They're linking up okay here. The Saints. Powell got dispossessed. A strong tackle there by Hannon. He's asking and pleading for the umpire, going, where's my freebie? But to no avail. So 70 metres out from goal. Williams just barged his way through there for Knox. Up towards the half-forward line and picked up across there by Carroll. Swings around on the left boot, kicks the ball inside forward 50. It's a high up and under. Little knock away there by Lowe, straight into the arms of Jack Whelan for the Saints. Linking up over okay there with Morgan. Snaps it, tries to get out of that danger zone. Here's Harbeck. Oh, just used his foot just to fend off there. Got booped to ball in the end. Got it out towards the Fenton direction. He got dispossessed as well. Umpire said play on. Picked up there by Jordan. Another scrambling kick. Came over Wolfinden. He's had a good game so far. He tried to get rid of it. Fenton over the top of him. Now it's Whelan. Handball out wide, looking for Scott for North Ringwood. Right on his hammer though was Carroll. Did well. Backwards to go forwards. And now eventually in the arms of Greaves. Here's he unleashes with the barrel here. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Front spot though was Jones for North Ringwood. Couldn't pull the mark down. Goes after it again. Does Jones. Still couldn't pull it in. Harbeck's in there also. Ball goes over towards the boundary line and we'll have a throw in.
Brash, this game has gone up in intensity in this quarter. Both sides are really throwing themselves into the contest.
Yeah, there's clean possession's going to be paramount when you get the opportunity.
23 plays 15. North Ringwood lead it by 8 points. Keep the scores coming in around the ground. 21 other great games as you go local for your football this afternoon. Umpire brings the ball back into play then. Front spot was Harbeck for North Ringwood, so we'll give that knockout to the Saints. Going after it was Jackie Whelan in the long sleeves. He's having a fair bit of the football as well. We know he's a ball magnet, and he'll give it back to the umpire to restart play. About 55 metres out from the Knox goal line. Nicely done over the back there by Beach, and now Knox a centering kick and a strong one too. Knocked away there from Robertson. He'll go after it again. He created a nice little Shepard here. Snap around the body. You little beauty. That's a cracking goal there by Mitch Hanegraaff, and he puts through Knox's third on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we're back to a 2-point ball game.
One of the things you notice when the ball comes out into the open, both sides have been able to take advantage of it, and this time the numbers favoured Knox in the forward line, and they got a great goal out of it.
And it was great teamwork there by Zach Robinson. He was in the marking contest, and then when he saw his teammate coming past, a great shepherd, as you call PWS.
A few around the ground scores coming in at quarter time. Bulwen lead by 18 points over South Croydon. Norwood lead by 7 points over Montrose. A 22-point lead to over a scoreless Noble Park to Doncaster. 4-4-28. Vermont lead by 26 points over Roval at quarter time. So a few genuinely interesting games going on as Harbeck tries to get it away. Umpire said he took far too long. And the free kick tackle going the way there of Wolfenden.
He's having a good game.
Play to watch from Josh Daw pre-season. He certainly turned it on this afternoon, that's for sure. Back of the pack here, Decker will be the man to clean up.
Oh, no.
Now gives his handball to an opposition player there, and Harris hard up against the boundary line. Can he snap it from the impossible pocket? What a goal from Rain Harris.
Definite goal of the day so far.
Write it down now. I may as well walk out there and give him the pillow myself. What a goal there from Rain Harris. Absolutely sensational, deep in the pocket. And that is the goal of the day this afternoon. He'll have a good night's sleep after a great goal.
Rain Harris has shown in the past that he can be a match winner. I believe last week he scored 6 goals in a losing performance. Testament that he wants to play at the Knox Football Club. He's repaying the faith. That was a great individual effort there, BWS.
Certainly was.
He was coming around the boundary. He balked 2 players, come inboard, and a snap over his shoulder.
Umpire throws the ball up. North Ringwood now, they're looking to get one back here. Whelan, little look away handball, that was good. Kick goes up towards the half forward line. Getting underneath it there was Hill on the second bye. That's a ripper mark from the big forward. Switches it now to centre half forward. Kick goes inside forward 50. Over the top there of McKinnon's head, and now Knox have a chance to get rid of it, but holding the ball. That was a great chase and a good run down there by Charlie Haley. And he'll have a chance from about 50 metres out to get the quick reply.
Usual suspects, still no scores. Sylvan and Croydon, no surprises.
No. Inside 50s, 4-1 favouring Knox so far early in the second quarter, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. There's Charlie Haley. Comes in now. He'll have to give it everything he's got. He's pushed it right to the line. Big fly over the back there by Hill, and it gets rushed through for a minor score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 6.5 minutes gone here in the second quarter, and he's Knox leading it by 3 points, 27-24.
It's been a great 2 to 3 minutes by Knox in this quarter. They've certainly lifted their intensity.
Scores in Division 2, Murrelbach lead by a goal over Mitcham, a 27-8 lead. Mulgrave over the Waverley Blues, a 24-point lead to Doncaster East over Lilydale, and a 9-point lead to Bayswater over Wanturna South. As the ball goes out of bounds, in the hands there of Robinson. Division 3, a 15-point lead to Ringwood over South Belgrave. Heathmont lead by a goal over Scoresby. Baronia lead by 11 points over Chirnside Park, and a 1-point lead to the Basin over Upper Ferntree Gully. And finally in Division 4, a 3-point lead to the Whitehorse Pioneers over Ferntree Gully, a 41-point lead to Forest Hill over Coldstream, a 63-point lead to Donvale over Nuttawading, and a 23-point lead to Kilsyth over the Glen Waverley Hawks. As the ball gets thrown up once again, went through all those scores and still the ball hasn't moved more than 10 metres as North Ringwood try and go inside forward 50 once again. Man to fly there was Van Noonan. He couldn't take the mark. Plenty of numbers around the back of the pack. Stanek is one of those. Let's kick away wide. First to meet it here will be Hanegraaff. Under a lot of pressure there from Whelan, who managed to win the ball, and now they go back inside forward 50. Flying at the front of the pack there, trying to take the mark there was Van Noonan. Kick off the bottom of the pack, and it couldn't make the most of it. I think that was Aaron Fenton. And through for one behind. 3-7-25, North Ringwood Knox 4-3-27.
There was a perfect opportunity for a North Ringwood player to be front and square there, none to be seen.
There's a whistle off play. Or is he just the umpire just blown time off? So we're back underway. Williams. Kick wasn't all that flash, and it's found Harbeck for the Saints. It chips and finds Van Neunen.
They might pay for that poor disposal there by Luke Williams.
About 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. So this one's a genuine killer when they put the pressure on to cause the missed shot just moments before. So it comes in now. Pretty short run up. It's very close to the man on the mark, and then just chips over the top in the hill direction. Doesn't get anywhere near it. I think he was intending to go further out to the pocket, and a little bit of miscommunication between the two forwards.
It makes you wonder why they do that. I mean, he's chipped it over the top. It's gone 3/4 of the way. I reckon he would have got the distance from where he was.
Certainly no mistaking that. Now the ball's thrown in about 25 metres around from the Saints' goal. And the clearing kick away. So no damage so far as Heath Decker picks it up at the bottom of the pack. Van Neunen trying to make up for the miss just moments ago. Whelan inside forward 50, and that one's almost found its target there in Cullen Hall. Hard up against the boundary line. In fact, the umpire said it was too hard up against the boundary line. In fact, it went over. Will Taylor update. He's still over at the Channel 9 caravan, marquee.
Every player on the ground is in the bottom end of the field.
I was thinking that when I called Heath Decker at half forward.
Yeah.
It's a scrum of players. Charlie Harley was at the bottom of that. He finally got his handball away, and now Knox getting clearing kick, trying to push something forward. Bit of body-on-body contact, went nowhere near the ball, and now Knox, if they get all the numbers here with North Ringwood, will be a 3-on-1 right in the centre of the ground, and they'll win it out easily. Although the skills aren't all that flash, trying to run around. The umpire there was Waterman to get his hands on the footy. Got to be holding the ball, and it is. If they move it quick, it's all with Knox.
Yeah.
Too slow.
That North Ringwood player, I don't know what he was thinking. He tried to take on 3 Knox players. In no way known he was going to get through.
So Robinson at half back for Knox. Basically every player that was in the forward half was slowly pushed back.
Yeah, the umpire's
two free kicks in a row. That one going against Powell.
Hanegraaff.
Favouring Mitch Hanegraaff. Now he goes long to the top of the goal square. Flying at the front of the pack. Great mark taken there by Hannon.
He's paid it.
Took about 3 chops at it, and then finally jumped across the front of the pack and managed to clunk it. And he can go line up from point blank range to extend the lead.
While he's going back to kick this goal, we better get Bruce to go and get a tyre leader out of his car to prize Will Taylor out of that Channel 9 tent down there.
I want to talk about the value of what a long kick can do into the forward line.
Yeah.
Especially on a day like this. And it could result in a goal. As Hannon comes in. Stabs at it a little bit, but you can't make too much of a mistake from point blank, and puts his side 5th on the board for the afternoon. They move on to 5-3-33. North Ringwood 3-7-25. 12 minutes gone, second term here on AFL Game Day.
Yeah, look, David Madigan would have to be really happy with his charges at the moment in this quarter. You know, it's been a 3-0 quarter so far, and look, both sides are going in, they're throwing everything in there, but it's just that Knox seem to have a little bit more composure when they do get the ball.
Knox 4-3-20, Knox. Templestowe 4-3-27, lead Warrandyte 1 straight 6. So a few intriguing results starting to come through. There's a couple of games that we're missing. If you're out at Blackburn East Ringwood, Croydon East Bellwood, Sylvan Park Orchards and Eastern Lions Surrey Park. We'd love to hear from you on Twitter at Footy EFL. Right here though, it's an 8-point lead in favour of the Falcons. Speaking of the Devil though, Aaron Hurls just looked after us for the Blackburn East Ringwood score. Quick goals to Danaher, and Hammond pushes the Blackburn lead out to 19 points midway through the second term. So ball still hasn't moved. Bit of a slow restart to this one. Now let's see if we can get a clean clearance. Nice tackle there from Whelan. Did nothing though, as it still went forward here for Knox. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Great tackle there from Matic Weeks. And it's held up once again. So 13 minutes gone. Ball thrown up about 50 round from the Knox goal. Plenty of numbers around the back of the pack here favour North Ringwood, and they'll get a free kick, which helps even more so.
So the Saints to clear it here. Morgan drives it out towards the wing position at the back of the pack there. Shaw got a fingertipper on it, released the football. Whelan, strong tackle, Jackie Whelan. Not rewarded, but did what he had to do.
He tackles well for a little bloke, doesn't he? He just puts a vice-like grip on and they're gone.
Harbeck beat Williams in that ruck contest. Knox just flicked it out the back here. Here's Woofenden. He'll load up on the left and kick the ball inside forward 50. Decker might have been a little bit of holding there by Heath. The umpire said it was okay. Goes after it again, the big man. Got a little handball out wide. Oh, this might be a trip here on low. He tried to get moved to ball. The tackle slipped down to the bottom of his legs and brought down, so he'll go back, and this is a very genuine shot at goal here, about 35 out, almost directly in front.
Yeah, a few stats. Inside 50s, 6 to Knox, 5 to North Ringwood. Centre clearances, 2 apiece, and stoppages 5 to Knox, 1 to North Ringwood.
They've certainly come out to play in this second term, the Knox Football Club. Low, they've already got 5 individual goal kicks. They'd love to make it 6, but he pushes it to the right-hand side and through for a minor score. That's one that they really should have put through.
Yeah, he should have got that one.
He sprayed that as far as you possibly can from that range.
34 plays, 25 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, a 9-point lead to the Knox Football Club.
So we would to do the kicking and duties. Plays on to himself. Gains the disposal and kicks short. Wasn't all that flash, but they'll get out of it here. Whelan gives his handball and now receives back from Matty Scott. Gets it away to Van Unen, who just couldn't pick it up. Trying to work through Greaves here for for Knox. Now for North Ringwood. Loco gets it up towards half forward. Numbers around here favour Knox. They can use them well. Low, working at both ends of the ground. Great tackle there from Matty Shepherd. Goes unrewarded. Umpire calls play on. Scott gives his handball away. Now it's starting to get a bit rough and tough out there. As Cullen Hall, it's a free kick for too high. Now inside forward 50 for the Saints. Holding the ball, holding the man, free kick there on Ursage it should have been, but there's a free kick further downfield.
Haley copped one really high then.
He's
yellow carding him?
Yeah. There'll be a yellow card against Williams, I think.
Yes.
Yep. And
I reckon there's one little piece
as I said, a bit of feeling between these two sides.
There was one little piece of play there a couple of seconds ago by Shepherd, a 2-on-1 tack, and he managed to stop the Knox momentum and keep that ball in that forward region for North Ringwood, Ray.
Yeah.
So the double whammy here as Williams goes off and Haley's got a shot from about 35 metres out, as good as directly in front, and that'll be 15 minutes. We probably won't see him until half-time.
Now, the thing is, with him off the ground, can North Ringwood take advantage of that? And they can now, but can they for the rest of the quarter?
This will be a big one, and Haley will celebrate accordingly if he can slot it through the middle. Sends a kick on its way, sprays it to the right-hand side, and through from one behind and gets players come to him left, right and centre straight after it. So he's certainly become the target for pretty much every player on the Knox side at the moment. North Ringwood 3-8-26, Knox 5-4-34, 17 minutes gone second term.
Mitch Greaves for Knox. It's a beautiful kick out of the defensive 50 going up after it was Beach. Couldn't quite pull it down. Little kick off the ground almost there by Shepherd. Goes after it again to Shepherd, scoots it out wide, and now the Saints will have a chance to go forward if they can keep it alive, but Jones was pushed over the boundary line and out, so about 70 metres out from the Saints goal line.
Just discovered another number we don't have. Knox are looking after us this afternoon with their jumper numbers, 52.
Will's been all over it for us today, so I'm sure he'll be onto that also. Comes in now. Pies blown a whistle. Another free kick here to North Ringwood, so they've been racking him up in the last few minutes or so, and they've got to make Knox pay.
Bit of ill discipline in the Knox lineup in the last couple of minutes. It's undoing all the, the good work that they did at the start of the quarter.
So Matty Scott sends the ball forward. He was looking for Hill, who had the back spot. Here's Van Noonan, hit the deck pretty quickly, bounces up again. Over the top there is Robinson. He tries to get rid of it just in the nick of time, did he? The umpire said.
I think it's
it was
Declan.
all fair.
Declan Forbes in 52. Was in 30.
In this situation, Bresh, I'd like to see a Knox player back on the goal line.
Yes.
So umpire throws it up. Once again, players going in unnecessarily. But this time the free kick will go to Knox. So both lots of fans really getting into this game, which is really good to see. Kick goes out towards the Forbes direction. Lowe had the front spot there. On hands and knees, that was almost a little bit of a throw out the back there by the hyphen Cullen Hall, and over the boundary line it goes for a boundary throw.
Love a good hyphen on the Eastern Football League media team. Call back! Particularly yourself, Ben.
Call back!
I wasn't having a crack.
I didn't think you were, I just thought it was weak.
So another free kick played out this time. It goes the way of the Falcons. And across half back, a chance now to try and re-go and makes the most of something. As we tick towards time on in this second term.
Go.
Found its spot in Stanek. Kicks further up the line. And sliding in to try and take the mark there was Tyler, but it was punched away from him. Shepherd was dispossessed, and now Knox regained possession on centre wing. Comes back to that man in Tyler. And he gets around one and now goes towards the forward 50. Flying over the back of the pack, couldn't take the mark there, was Weeks in defensive 50, and now Northring can regain possession. Good work running through there was Jones, gets his kick away finally. Intended for Shepherd, but it's punched over the boundary line and out of bounds.
That was a great spoil then by the Knox player. I just thought it was going to be half a yard too late, but no, he made the ground up. Look, the game's heated up, there's no doubt about that, but look, you must give credit to the two umpires. They are in complete control of this game.
Yep.
Agreed.
So, neutral territory, centre wing on the outer side of the ground as Davis gets it away up towards half forward in favour of Knox, but it's going to come straight back. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Saints. Whelan just holds himself up, now gets around one. He's got numbers on, goes inside forward 50, looking for Hill, I think it was, and it's punched over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Maybe Brash at North Ringwood then a wasted opportunity. They
Most
should have made
definitely,
more of that.
I wouldn't want to be leading to the pockets on a day like today.
No. He had protection from the Shepherd, or he could have come inboard.
So, unopposed goes Beach, gets a tap down, and now they can go forward once again. Good mark taken there by Scott Carroll.
So Carroll, just what sort of a kick is that? It's a very up and under one out towards the wing position, gave a lot of players a chance. Decker came barging through, using his old gridiron skills there. As the ball shoots out towards the Robinson direction, he couldn't break a tackle, and we'll have a bounce right in front of the grandstand here. Good crowd out here at Knox. You wouldn't see it on the stream, but everyone's undercover behind us as the ball comes out now, looking for Scott. He couldn't pick it up. A lot of players over this one. Whelan came in pretty hard, but it was all fair, and Carroll will hand the ball back to the umpire.
It's one of those days where they're just riding that 10% harder just to really make it hurt. There's a fair bit of...
Beach knocked it down to himself in the end, and then he had a bit of a fresh air shot, but now Knox will get the clearing kick up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football, which way will it go? Davis goes in after it. He had to create a contest, and he did so, and we'll have a bounce just outside the forward 50 here for Knox. Tempers flaring. Start the play, and that's why the umpires have been good today. It comes out now, taken by Wood, got the handball away. Whelan, Jesus had a lot of football, came to Scott, and now the Saints are away up towards the wing position. The kick goes, getting the front spot there, and almost pulling the mark down was Cullen Hall. Knox a kick up towards the Robertson direction, trapped it really well, got the handball away. Woofenden got it across towards the Greaves direction. He got dispossessed. Well done. Whelan once again got the little handball away. Here's Barker, who's brought to ground in a ripper tackle.
Boundary.
Umpire says, give it to me, boys. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Hey, boys, Forbes is actually, contrary to our team sheet, wearing number 52, not number 30. And Weeks has just come down oddly on that right ankle in the last marking contest. He's just going off for a bit of treatment now.
You can see him wobbling. Thanks very much, Will. As the umpire starts it again, here's Robinson. Little handball out wide. That was good play. Greaves sold a little bit of candy. That was clever played. The kick goes inside forward 50. Had to be perfect. and Wood just stood strong and took the mark, and it should be 25, and it is.
That's a really good free kick, or 25 against Rain Harris there. He knew exactly what he wanted to do to Woods. I could have sworn he paid the 25.
It looked like it. Maybe a
go.
little bit of back chat, and he reversed it in the end.
Anyway,
switches the play out to Barker.
Barker takes the mark, goes further afield. Right, that's the far side, finds Anthony Sharp. Sharp for the Saints, kicks up towards half forward. The intended target there was Hill, but it was cut off once again. So, short chip kick over the top, finds its target in Hannon.
Wolfenden
quickly plays on and now goes inside forward 50, looking for a target. And goes over the back of his head. Hard up against the boundary line here. Good work off the back of the pack. Jones tried to get it away. And eventually it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Half time at Blackburn, 4:8:32. Bad kicking is bad football. East Ringwood 5-1-31. Interesting game between two sides who have certainly made a play the final spots in season 2016. A free kick paid towards for Knox, I should say, and it will go the way of Scott Davis for holding in the contest.
It's the old-fashioned thing, Ray. In this, you play wet weather football, you play in front, you get the free kicks.
I mean, it's one of those days where those free kicks are going to be paid left, right and centre.
Yeah, you're right.
Really silly. And it could cost them another goal and extend this margin out to double figures. Davis comes in on the right boot, sets it right and only just sneaks it in for one behind. The fifth on the board for Knox, they're 5-5-35. North Ringwood 3-8-26, 25 minutes gone here in the second term on AFL Game Day.
On the balance of play in this quarter, Knox should be those couple of misses, and they should be a few further in front, I think, in this quarter.
Well, this time in the first term, we were saying it was Knox that needed a couple of goals or at least one, and now the roles are reversed as Wood kicks it out to Scott, takes the mark. Whelan's got a lead up forward, or forward of field, and he takes the mark on his chest. Still in their defensive arc, though, for North Ringwood. Screaming for it was Allison. That lead is ignored, and the kick goes up towards the wing position. Big fly. Standing front there was Jordan. Almost pulled it down, or got a nudge in the back. You can hear the crowd screaming. And the umpire said, throw it in. Right in front of the broadcast position. Umpire throws it in. Nicely done there by Davis. He's had a really good second term. Davis kicks it, slammed it on his boot, and Jones was in position A for North Ringwood, just inside the defensive arc. So he takes the mark and will have a chance to get it out of that danger zone once again. He's going to use the same wing position. The kick goes up to Tarachuna, but over she goes on the full.
That's a really poor kick under those circumstances.
So Beach, who's got a lot of tape on his shoulders, and most of it's just hanging off by a thread at the moment. So now North Ringwood, the kick goes up towards the wing. It was a beautiful little kick there by Haley. Harbeck takes it, screaming for it. Further afield is Hill. He uses his body pretty well there. He won the free kick. It might be play on to Sharp.
No.
He couldn't quite trap the football, so it'll come back, and Tommy Hill will go back and have a shot.
I think Knox can feel hard done by. I thought it was a pretty soft decision myself. It should have been play on.
In defence of the umpire, though, Brad, he's on the other side to us. He was right on the spot. He was
got
in the
caught
perfect
out of position a little bit.
Are you mates with these umpires, right?
I love him, mate. You know that.
Tommy Hill, 55 metres out, unwinds. It's a long kick. It goes all the way. Van Unen, it actually went through everybody's hands and through for a minor score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard deep into the second term. 27 minutes gone, 35 Knox, 27 North Ringwood, as Knox are wasting absolutely no time either as the kick goes out, but Hill goes straight back down his throat. He might be able to ping it from there as the siren sounds.
He's paid the mark.
Although the other umpire's going to come in, they're going to have a little bit of a chat here.
No, it's got to be half time.
There we go.
Overruled, and that is good play. The right decision was there then.
Exactly.
So,
as I said earlier, Warren Hillier is a very experienced umpire, and he just showed his experience there.
Absolutely. So Jack Whelan took him, and the ball was almost on his chest as the siren sounded, but it is the Knox Football Club with a fantastic second term, 5-5-35 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They lead this game by 8 points. North Ringwood at 3-9-27. everyone all single goal kickers this afternoon, Dyson?
There are plenty of them as well. Harris, Robinson, Waterman, Hannon and Hanegraaff for Knox, while the three single goal kickers for North Ringwood, Tom Hill, Jaden Van Unen and Matty Weeks. Half-time out here at Knox Gardens Reserve. Plenty of feeling, plenty on the line in this game and no surprises. Knox 5-5-35, North Ringwood 3-9-27 on AFL Game Day. Big second half coming up after this.
Oh, yeah.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A, for A1 airport parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. It's the Aussie family company that's been manufacturing mattresses in Melbourne since 1991. They offer a huge range, and selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee, and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows, and custom-sized mattresses at chiropedic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend.
I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game.
Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase.
Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins.
It's win-win, man.
Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours.
Or your team membership
At any Pancake Parlour this weekend.
Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use Eastlink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Mam zaplanowaną przyszłość.
I've also planned for the future. With the Tobin Brothers Funerals fixed price funeral plan, you can be sure your family won't be burdened with the cost of your funeral. Your life will be celebrated the way you want it and the price is fixed forever.
Je l'ai prévu pour l'avenir.
Plan for the future today so you can relax and enjoy the journey with those who matter most. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating diversity as they celebrate lives.
Program sponsor.
16 after 3, Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back here in the studio, and we'll be back for the Prize Shed halftime show out there at Knox, between Knox and North Ringwood. We'll give you a rundown of what's going on at halftime in just a moment. Now, before we get underway, if you just stepped in or just turned on the radio, the news is coming out of the United States this afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona hospital. Muhammad Ali has passed away at the age of 74. He died due to respiratory problems. So a great man, great sports person, passed away this afternoon at the age of 74, and I'm sure we'll have full coverage of that in our media over the next couple of days. All right, let's check some AFL games this afternoon, and the big game is at the MCG, and that's between Hawthorn and Melbourne, and a very close game indeed, and it's only a 1 point difference at the moment, and it was started off that Hawthorn kicked away with a few goals in the first quarter, but then Melbourne struck back in the second, and it was only a 1 point lead to Melbourne at half time, and well, it was going to be an interesting game for the third quarter, and it's turned out to be. It's just got underway, and just getting some scores. It was Hawthorn were trailing at half-time. They were 7-2-44 to Melbourne's 7-3-45, and that was the quarter-time score. Now, it's just gone underway in the third quarter, and it's still a 1 point lead. Hawthorn have snuck in front. It's the 6-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's Hawthorn 6-9-45 leading Melbourne 7-2-44. So at half-time, as I said, it was Melbourne in front 7-2-44 to Hawthorn 6-7-43. Goal kickers for the Hawks, Gunston has 3, Brewst 1, O'Brien, Rioli, Burgoyne, and the others have had a shot at goal with 1 each. And for Melbourne, Dawes 1, Hogan 1, Kent, Tracker, Tyson, and Vanderberg, Watts 1 each. The other game this afternoon is Etihad Stadium, and that's between Carlton and Brisbane. And Carlton definitely on the rise, and subsequently they have a big score lead. It's 52-13 into the lead of Carlton. In the first quarter, it was Carlton 4-3-27 leading Brisbane 3 behind 3 points. It's the half-time. Siren has just gone, and it's Carlton 8-4-52 leading Brisbane 1.
Selected mattresses come with everyday deals like free delivery, old mattress removal, 30-day comfort guarantee, and up to 20 years warranty. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Chiropractic Mattress Factory Direct. Locations all around Melbourne and country Victoria. Or shop online 24/7 for mattresses, bases, beds, pillows, and custom-sized mattresses at chiropractic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hope we win this weekend. Oh, I hope we win too. Because I want to kick some weekend goals at Pancake Parlour after the game. Because if your AFL team wins, you can go in and get a free sweet pancake with any savoury menu item purchase. Oh, free pancake. First your team wins and then your belly wins. It's win-win, man. Claim your free sweet pancake with any savoury item purchase just by showing your winning team's colours. Or your team membership at any Pancake Parlour this weekend. Oh, and don't forget, check out Facebook for this week's offer.
Lovely. Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss it. From 10 till 12 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders, following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to the biggest names from across the league each and every week. EFL Sunday, from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Knox Gardens Reserve. Both sides out on the ground and ready for the second half. Of course, all thanks to the Pie Shed for the halftime show. The Pie Shed's pies are absolutely delicious. Make sure you go and see Mark and the team in Bayswater. Certainly the place to be if you want to feed in Bayswater. There's plenty of joints around there to grab a feed, but none better than the Pie Shed. So make sure you get on that. Ray Baird, as we welcome you back into the commentary position, an 8-point lead to Knox. Who wins from here?
Look, I think, well, at the moment, Knox are playing the better football. That second quarter, Knox kicked 3 goals, 3, and North Ringwood could only manage 4 behind. But North Ringwood had opportunities to kick goals, and we've said it many a time, when you've got the momentum, you've got to hit the scoreboard. But look, Knox, I just feel that Knox are control. When they have that momentum, they're making more of it.
That makes perfect sense. Both sides in position, waiting for the ground to clear. For mine, I think Knox have... the quality that Knox showed in patches during that second term might be enough to see them get the result in this game in the end.
I reckon a 20-point lead could be a match-winning lead in this game.
Yep.
Close all afternoon, that's for sure. And we second half underway. That first tap to Beach, but the clearance still waiting. There's no side able to get a clean disposal out. Apologies if you're trying to grab the link on the Eastern Football League website to watch the streaming. You can now do that. I've just updated it then. As North Ringwood go inside forward 50. The target there was intended for Hill. Haley tried to grab the feed at the bottom of the pack, but couldn't quite get away from his opponent there, and he's held up 45 from goal. Trying to grab it out of the ruck there was Beach, trying to play on quickly Wolfenden. Hannon. Now a chance to get it away up towards half forwards, Harris. And a good mark going back with the flight of the ball. And North Ringwood regained possession on centre wing, scoreboard side, I should say. Most of the game been played on that side of the ground this afternoon, which we love. North Ringwood inside forward 50 with a bouncing grubber kick. Did well to shake off his opponent there. Hardback kicked it off the ground. Should have just picked it up. And a great rush
play
behind there. I think it was Greaves just managed to get a foot to it at the last moment and rushed it through for one behind.
The North Ringwood player then did the right thing at the contest because he pushed his opponent forward, but unfortunately, being a wet day, it didn't roll on as much as he wanted to, and the Knox defender come through and pushed it through. But we've spoken about momentum, Brash, so we're just waiting now.
Oh, Greaves has gone outside the square here, so we'll have a bounce only 10 metres out from the North Ringwood goals.
The Cardinals seeing a full-back play.
Certainly is.
How do the umpires play that? Does it get a signal from the goal umpire? Because today you would have thought that line wouldn't be very visible from where the umpire's standing.
Well, they obviously got very good eyesight if the goal umpire didn't.
I think you could still see it.
Yeah.
So Hill just tried to have a fresh air shot out of the pack. There's about 10 players around this football. Umpire will come in and bounce it.
So a very important passage right now.
Pye throws it up. What's going to be paid here? A free kick to North Ringwood. It might be advantage goal.
No.
It won't be, but Charlie Daly will, Haley I should say, will go back and put through North Ringwood's fourth goal, and the margin will be back to only 1 point.
If Haley kicks this goal, that's really going to rub some salt into the wounds of the Knox players, because he's the player that was targeted just before three-quarters time for something that's happened out there on the field. Before half-time, I should say. Yeah, no, look, so this will really hurt Knox if he gets this one.
So he's only about 20 metres out. He's giving himself a fair old run up at it as well. So Haley with that Kennedy approach, and he puts it straight over the goal umpire's head, and the North Ringwood fans really enjoyed that one. 3-minute mark of this third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it's 35 Knox, North Ringwood 34.
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling in this game, and once again Haley's front and square in it. I don't think they're going to let him off the hook all afternoon now.
No, look, after he's kicked that goal, he's really got into the face and up the nose of several of the Knox defenders there.
He is so much the Stephen Milne of the
and
AFL,
the Hayden Ballantyne. Yeah, I know.
They're the sort of players that just get under your skin.
Well, he's twice the player Silver Milne is, because he's wearing number 88, not 44.
But I love the granddad jokes. The umpire throws it up, wheeling at the bottom of the pack.
I learnt them from the nursing home, mate.
So, right in the middle of Knox Garden reserves as the knock comes down. Speak of the devil, that was Haley, got a little handball away. Kick off the ground by Van Noonan, was half smothered up towards the 50 now. Whelan goes after it, somehow trapped it, got out of trouble, tried to link up out wide with Fenton. I thought the umpire might have blown a whistle there, but play goes on, and Stacks on the mill about 40 metres out from the North Ringwood goals.
You could have probably picked 2 or 3 free kicks out of that, but I think it was good umpiring that under the conditions that they let it go on. There was nothing really, really obvious.
Only took 4 minutes for Ray to love up the umpires again in this third term as the ball comes out wide. Knox to get the clearing kick out of that danger zone, came up towards Robinson. He nearly pulled the mark down and copped one on the shoulder. Umpire said all was fair. Michael Locko sees it over the boundary line and out. Ball's been hovering around that North Ringwood forward line. Van Noonan slams it on the boot, looking for Hill, who has the front spot, and strong mark on the chest as well there. Ray had the front spot. He had his opponent there in Lachlan Stanek right on his hammer, but he pulled down a ripper.
Yeah, look, a very strong use of the body there. He was a man in front. The ball went fairly high, so it was coming down almost vertical, and he just stuck the old backside out and marked it on his chest.
It seems obvious too that the Argyle way end is the scoring end of this afternoon, so I would think North Ringwood may need to be a few goals in front at the last change.
Tommy Hill pushed it wide, out of bounds on the full.
That is a very, very poor result considering the positioning of the ground that Tommy Hill was in. He should have put that through. A man of his experience should not have missed the sticks altogether.
Mitch Greaves for Knox. They still lead this game by 1 point. Drives it out towards the Williams direction. Big fly over the back there by Lowe. Got the knockdown.
There's some high flying there.
And Jackie Whelan, as always, at the bottom of the pack to give the ball back to the umpire.
And
High throws it up. Nicely done there by Beach. Might stay in. It might be on the full, that, actually. The umpire was blindsided to it, but it did come off Waterman's leg. It looked out of bounds on the foot to me.
It was from here, but we're on the opposite side to the umpire. And Luke Williams is back on the ground now after half-time, after that yellow card.
So, Tarachita, Williams. Oh, nice little pirouette there by Jordan, then got boot to ball in towards the middle of the ground, scooped upon there by Loco, slams it on his boot inside forward 50, charging out in front there was Shaw. Kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. It was knocked away there by Jones. Ball hits the deck, going after it and hitting the deck pretty hard there was Hanegraaff. Knox might get out of this. A little bit of extra holding there by Jones. Umpire said it was okay. Van Noonan slams it on his boot inside forward 50 at the back of the pack. Here's Hill. He might get a reprieve here. Little handball over the top. Ball still alive. Kick off the ground there by Fenton. I think it might have gone through. Which way is this one going to go? Umpires are having a chat. The goal umpire looks like he's pretty confident to give the two-finger salute, and there it is. North Ringwood kicked their 5th goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and they regain the lead out here at Knox Gardens Reserve. 7 minutes gone by 5 points.
Very similar to the first couple of quarters, Brash, where North Ringwood come out at the start of each quarter and they have all the running, and then we've found that later in the quarter, we'll wait and see whether it happens again, that Knox can get back into it.
Actually, Tim Jones has had a very good game this afternoon. He's created a lot of run off the back line, but his tackling pressure's been good as well.
Once again, waited too long to get a hamburger and got stuck with a chicken burger, so...
Bruce had a double. That's probably was your one.
Oh.
Well, I was just waiting for you to...
We'll get him on the huddle.
Here's Tommy Hill.
From 35 directly in front, just kicks through. 2 in a minute for the North Ringwood Football Club, and they go to an 11-point lead. Tommy Hill, the first multiple goal kick of the afternoon.
And Dyson, I was going to say there, I'm just waiting for you to slice that into at least 5 pieces, because we all want a piece of it.
No, I'm thirsty.
I haven't eaten all day, doubtful.
Well. No, look, this is the start that North Ringwood wanted for the second half, but what Knox have got to do now is just get control of the ball, control the game, slow it down for the next 5 minutes, and then try and get back into it.
The next 5 minutes are vitally important.
Very crucial, Brash.
Ball has been living in the North Ringwood forward line for all of this third term. Tarachita got the knockdown. Williams was in there, goes after it again. North Ringwood look like they might get the clearance here. Nicely done there by Wolfenden, but the kick is a little bit scrambly, and now the Saints, another chance to go forward. The kick goes up towards the hill direction. Over the top of his head it goes. Ball bounces inside forward 50. Greaves is the first player there for Knox, but he fell over at the crucial stage here, and he's given away a free kick. Also, he went after it again. The hyphen Cullen Hall
that's it.
Got the free, and then some back chat has cost them a 25, and all of a sudden, within a couple of minutes, North Ringwood are going to kick 3 goals.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's a start that North Ringwood wanted. But isn't momentum a funny thing? When you get the momentum, the kick off the ground goes to one of your players and you mark it.
Cullen Hall, drop punt, go for a goal. He puts it through, and nearly a good mark by the guy over the back there near the fence.
And also, when you got that momentum, the umpiring decisions seem to go your way, and that's why it's so important that you've got to capitalise when you've got it.
10 minutes gone here in the third term, the premiership quarter, they call it 7-10-52. The North Ringwood Football Club, they lead this by 17 points now. Knox 5-5-35.
Knox have really got to dig deep here. They have to dig deep. They need the next score. They really do need this centre clearance.
Genuine game of momentum shifts.
It is.
Right now it's all with North Ringwood. Tarachita gets the tap down once again, tries to push it forward there, Jones.
Chicken burger
get it
smells
away.
Magnificent.
Tastes bloody good as well.
Are we going to vote on that next Friday night?
It's got to be meat. Proper meat. His ball back in the middle once again, trying to get it away. Good work from Williams, just kicked long. Off the ground, Fentanyl leading the race, but he's got to beat 2. Did really well to try and bring the contest. Now Wood tried to get it away. He's held up. Got to be holding the ball.
Oh, that's a ripper.
So the free kick goes the way of Lepore. As the crowd just take their breath.
Oh, what a shot.
And hard up against the boundary line. It's
I tell you what.
That's a... Oh. Can we review the footage on that one, Lee? I reckon that was pretty close to in.
Boundary.
Across boundary side. Will?
Boys, I was right here, and I think there was 1 centimetre inside the line, actually. So just inside there.
We'll give benefit of the doubt to the umpire.
Because to be out of bounds, the whole ball's got to be over the line. That's right.
So it was centimetre perfect.
It certainly was. Oh,
not really.
Imperfect on this occasion.
Yes, Dennis Brasher.
So another boundary throw in right in front of the Knox coach's box. David Madigan looks on at his side's 8-point lead, which has quickly fizzled into a 17-point deficit. And once again, they look to go inside forward 50 through Wood, North Ringwood. And hard up against the boundary line tackled. Good tackle there from Matty Scott.
I've really enjoyed watching the tackling in this game today.
Fierce. So 25 metres out now from the North Ringwood goal. They lead this one by 17 points at the 12-minute mark of the third term. Thrown in once again. Beach had front position. Couldn't find a teammate, though. Plenty of numbers around the ball. It's held up once again.
Yeah, the stats in this quarter, inside 50s, 8 to North Ringwood. None so far to Knox. Centre clearances, 3 to North Ringwood, 1 to Knox. Stoppages, 2 apiece.
So knocked down there by Beach, picked up there by Harbeck, got a little handball away. Here's Luke Williams, slammed it on his boot, but straight down the throat of Matty Shepherd. Sends the ball back inside forward 50, looking for Hill with a big fly over the back. He couldn't pull it down, and Cullen Hall got the handball away. But Knox, they get the chance to get out of the danger zone. Shepherd, a big fly over the back, kicked it straight into his own player, but that made the ball stay in play. Eventually, it goes over and out.
I see Luke Williams there appealing for a free kick, but all it was a bump. He wasn't held whatsoever.
Too much focus on everything else but the ball from Knox this afternoon.
Pye brings it back in. Whelan at the fall of the ball, put his head over it, and Williams is over him. And the umpire said, we'll have a bounce. Keep the scores coming in throughout the second half around the Eastern Football League today via Twitter at Footy EFL. Comes out now McCarthy. He was brought down in a strong tackle there by Harbeck. Once again will create another stoppage. Some around the ground scores.
Baldwin lead by 8 goals at half-time over South Croydon. It's a 1-point lead to Blackburn over East Ringwood. A 16-point lead to Doncaster over Noble Park. A 3-goal lead to Vermont over Roval.
Nicely done by McCarthy, straight down the throat of Harbeck though, and seen over right near the Knox interchange.
4-goal lead to Murrelbach over Mitcham, a 38-point lead to Mulgrave over the Waverley Blues, a 24-point lead to Doncaster East over Lilydale, and a 4-goal lead to Bayswater over Wantana South.
Head over the football, Van Noonan went backwards to Powell, and he's pushed over the boundary line and over.
This will be suiting North Ringwood right down to the ground at the moment.
Pye throws it up, very close to that Knox interchange. Division 3 scores.
Ringwood leads Ringwood leads South Belgrave by 16 points. A 12-point lead to Heathmont over Scoresby. Baronia lead by 2 goals over Chermside Park. A 11-point lead to the Basin over Upper Ferntree Gully, and Templestowe comfortably by 54 points over Warrandyte.
It's not uncommon. Umpire throws it in. It was McKinnon who had the front spot there for the Saints, and once again another stoppage. No, a free kick over the shoulder. Aaron Fenton, who got that toe poker goal that kick-started the run here in the third term for the Saints, kicks the ball inside forward 50, standing strong and taking a good mark was Harrison Greaves, and he wastes no time either, sends the ball out towards the half back line, but his kick did not hit the target, straight down the throat of Ursich.
And Ursich, still 70 from home, decides to go long, top of the goal square type of area, trying to fly in from the side, couldn't take the mark there, was Hill. Now numbers around favour Knox, but the pressure came. And there'll be a free kick. No, it's out
of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Brash, not only have Knox not had an inside 50 at the moment, but there's not one player in that half of the ground as well.
So ball thrown in once again. Features front position. Got it down to Williams, who was wrapped up quickly. Surrey Park lead Eastern Lions by 2 points. A 9-point lead to the Wild Horse Pioneers over Ferntree Gully. A 9-goal lead to Forest Hill over Coldstream. And Kilsyth lead by 6 goals over the Glen Waverley Hawks. So trying to clear it away, Knox. There's just so much pressure coming from this North Ringwood forward line as Jones kicks it straight back into the North Ringwood forward 50. No mark taken. Ball spills out the bottom of the pack. Whelan put his body on the line as he has all day. Charlie Haley tries to wrap that one in. He's held up by Davis and and going nowhere. This player thrown off the ball. I think it was Haley, so he's still become the target.
Tell you what, Lukey Williams copped one. I think he copped a knee to the head then.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting, Will.
Yeah, spot on there. Luke Williams really went in hard at that contest and just got a knee to the left side of the head there, but he's back up and about now, looking to get back into it.
So still 25 metres out from the North Ringwood goal. We've gone 16 minutes here in this third term on AFL Game Day. Once again, ball not moving. This plays right into the hands of North Ringwood, doesn't it? Just ticking time away in this third term. They'd love one here, Knox, just to bring the margin back. They were only a goal and a half away at quarter time when they made their way back. Ideally, they'd like to be within 2 goals, Brash.
Ideally, but at the moment, they without an inside 50,
like scoring.
They don't like scoring, no.
Ben Warren-Smith just loving himself sick for his tipping in the Eastern Footballer.
Dominating.
About 10 ahead. We're only halfway through the season. So still a bit of a lull. This game's had it all.
Yeah.
And now it just goes quiet for a couple of minute patch.
Don't jinx it. Pye throws it up. Knock away. Here's sharp. And eventually the umpire said, okay, we can play on here, boys. And trying to get a clearing kick was Knox, but to no avail. There's every bit of 15 players around this football. Pye throws it up again. At the fall of the ball, Whelan just got pulled off it at the last moment. Harbeck wrapped up by Williams and co, and will have a bounce.
The experienced players have come to the fore in this quarter. Wheeler, Hill, just to name a few.
Big knockdown, very close to the boundary line. Snap around the body by Rafferty just to get out of that danger zone, looking for his teammate out there in Greaves of the Harrison variety, and the whistle's been blown and you can hear the Bronx cheers. Knox feeling a little bit hard done by in this term.
They need to try and... But, Ray, they can't afford to sit back, Knox. They can't afford to slow the tempo. They've got to up the ante somewhere along the line.
They've got to take chances to win this game now because they've found themselves nearly 20 points behind.
So Greaves sends it out towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, looking for Williams. He had one bite at in the fall. The ball picked up Jones, dropped the football in the end. I think that'll be a free kick to Knox. So this is their chance to go forward. Here's Rafferty. Has not seen daylight their forward 50 in this third term as it's almost pulled in there by Powell. He did well to get the handball back and North Ringwood scramble a kick out towards the wing position and it will stay alive. Really well played there by Jones to keep it alive as well. Right on his hammer with his number equal in black.
He's had a good game, Jones, Tim Jones.
Brash, are we going to see what we normally see every week where a side has it in their forward line for a long time and then the other side take it down and kick a goal?
Well, that's always a possibility,
yeah.
Ray.
I think that's the only hope that Knox have got. They've got to get a goal here to get back into it.
Anything is possible, isn't it, Brush?
That it is, BWS.
Umpire throws it in. It's great to have you back, mate. Umpire throws it up.
It's great to be back.
I'll tell you what, he got out of Europe before the wet weather came, though. Half of it's underwater now.
I know.
Brought it back with him by the looks of things.
I've seen more rain here than I saw in the last 60 days, mate.
Beach, good knockdown that time. Knox to go forward.
Good mark. Good mark.
Really strong mark has been taken across the half-forward line. A little bit too far out to score here as the kick goes forward. Decker standing strong there for the Saints. That's a strong mark. Eyes only for the football. So Heath Decker wants to perhaps switch the play here, and why not? Anthony Sharp takes it.
Two old heads combining.
Short passes on. Here's JVU. Takes it in the back pocket. Just poking it up bit by bit here, and they're doing okay. Loco.
They're in no hurry. They don't have to be. They just got to control the game.
Across the half-back line, he sends it up towards the wing where Beechwood almost went up unattended here, and they've got to go direct. He's looking sideways.
We must... Too slow. Too slow.
Winds up now, and that's an absolute shocker if ever I've seen one out of bounds.
Really, that really sums up Knox's quarter, Ray. He was too slow off the mark. There was opportunities in the midfield, and he's turned the ball over with a shocking kick over the boundary line.
Copped an absolute basting from his teammate. North Ringwood regained possession. Tarachura flew too early, and the kick comes back through Greaves. Bouncing ball hard up against the boundary line. And that's where it ends up, across the boundary side. All thanks to chiropractic betting. Will?
Yeah, Rafferty's just come off the ground now, boys. He just got a bit winded in that last contest, breathing in the big ones, and he's just gone off for a spell.
Thanks to Will De Jong. Of course, all thanks to chiropractic betting. Off the back of the pack. Nice work there from Waterman. Gets it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Front position there was Greaves. Couldn't make the most of it. And hard up against the boundary line. It goes over about 25 metres round from the Knox goal. This is more promising. The only problem is it's a 21-minute mark. They've got to make something happen quick. The Falcons. Ball thrown in once again. Tarachura back position, almost made something of it though. Waterman overran the footy. Now Fenton gets it away for North Ringwood. Up in the direction of Van Noonan. Let's see how Beach goes as he takes the mark here. Kicked his last one out on the full. Doesn't waste any time, but I think he's still going to do the same thing. Goes very close to the boundary line, but a great mark taken there by Williams. Over the back of an opponent, wasted no time, got it inside forward 50. 20 metres out from goal, can't take the mark. Ursich at the back of the pack. North Ringwood regain possession, but wrapped up nicely there was Powell.
I really like...
It was a 4-on-1 situation when Williams kicked that into the top
look,
of the
I really like the composure of the back 5 or 6 there of North Ringwood at the moment. They're not panicking.
They're not.
So plenty of numbers around this ball, as we've seen all afternoon. Handball over the back from Harbeck, just tried to clear a bit of possession. And Knox will win their ball, but not the free kick. Jordan probably could have got taken high there. Van Noonan just plucked his hand out. Ball fell into it. Waste no time, they play on. All by himself, Shepherd in the middle of the ground, heard footsteps. Now he's under pressure, loads up, goes inside forward 50, looking for Loco, and he's going to run into an open goal. That's a very handy goal for North Ringwood on the stroke of three-quarter time. And at the 23-minute mark, they extend their lead out past 3.5 goals. 8-10-58 North Ringwood, Knox 5-5-35. And you talk about spending 5 minutes at one end of the ground and then going bang, bang, bang. That's exactly what the Saints did, Brash.
Exactly right. And the two guys that they brought to the club, Loco and Shepherd, featured prominently. The poise that they brought to that particular piece of place just blew Knox right off the park there.
Excellent vision by Van Noonan too, to switch it to the cricket pitch where he had the runners.
It all started with Van Noonan, and he's a contender definitely for the A1 airport parking mark of the day. Pye throws it up. And
after that, probably the pancake pile player of the day as well.
Yeah, I reckon.
I'd give it, to be honest, I'd give him that, because Shepherd sort of panicked but still managed to get it right, and Loco, well, he was running into an open goal. There's not many ways you can stuff that up.
Van Noonan again knocked it down, Wheel, and he's had some sort of a game. Links up well here with Jones, Brash's boys. He kicks it inside forward 50 or thereabouts, crosses the paint, and we'll have a boundary throw in 50 metres out from the North Ringwood goals, leading it by 23 points. You'd think if they snagged another one here, it might just be all over.
Blackburn have gone bang in the third term. They now lead by 30 points after only leading by a point at half-time.
Started to find the big sticks as it comes out. Haley played for the free kick. It was picked up by Wolfenden. Slams it on his left boot for Knox. Comes out, taken there by Robinson. Has a little bit of time. Bangs it on his boot. There is hardly anyone forward of the ball. Everyone's up from the wing position. Picked up there by Lowe eventually. He got the handball backwards. That's okay. Snap around the body there by Harris. And in the front spot, getting down and taking it was Waterman. So he's about 70 out from goal. Fans screaming for a 25. He's going to switch it to centre-half forward. This is a bit of a play here. Comes out to Jordan. He might set sail for goal, but he's got a man on the load of the goal square. That's exactly what they needed. A great answer there. Luke Hannon gets his second goal for the afternoon, and Knox claw one back.
Badly needed goal coming up to the last change, 25-minute mark. 17 points. They're still in it, but I tell you what, you know, another one here and the game's back on an even keel.
Brash, what's interesting is that all of a sudden the game's opened up.
Yep.
Both sides, in both goals that they've kicked, their last goal, the game's opened up and it's gone basically from coast to coast.
which is exactly what we like to see. We put up with 2.5 quarters of...
Oh, you're never satisfied,
but
Dyson.
No, I'm not. Particularly after I didn't get a burger.
Well,
and Bruce got
well,
two.
Bruce had 2.
I
That's
had
right.
one,
There you go.
There you go.
but I got mine in early.
I tell you what,
early.
we're not getting Bruce in for the huddle to report on those 2 burgers he had, though. No.
Not giving him a microphone, that's for sure.
Don't encourage him.
Just waiting for the return of the ball. It went over into the primary school.
Brash, they're kicking goals at this
plenty of
end, the
time.
Argyle Street name. Do you know the name of the street down there where that ball's gone this time?
No,
Isn't it Stud Road?
no, I think that might be the Mowbray Crescent end.
Okay.
Well, I think so.
Isn't Mowbray Crescent
Nice
the
to
one
see
you come
Bruce
in?
left one lolly in the packet.
two burgers and half a packet of lollies. As we finally get the ball returned to the middle of the ground. And it's a 17-point lead in favour of the Saints. 26.5 minutes gone. They'll probably go a little bit longer than that, given that we just had a fairly long stoppage. North Ringwood tried to clear through Fenton. He was wrapped up pretty quickly there by Carroll. And it going nowhere. Three-quarter time, Noble Park 5-6-36 of kick back. Doncaster 5-10-40. They trailed by 20 points at half-time. And the ball's not going away in that one.
But have they got anything left?
Of course, the first time those two sides have met. All thrown up once again. All square at the 10-minute mark of the final term at the MCG between the D's and the Hawks. Inside forward 50 here. It's Carroll wraps up his opponent there for Knox. They need to score quickly here, Knox.
Another goal will get the momentum going.
Certainly would. To put him within that 2 kicks, I think, is what they're after, and they really need to get moving. 27.5 minutes gone, third term.
He's had a sensational quarter, Jack Whelan. In fact, he's had a really good game.
Best on ground for me so far.
Certainly putting his hand up for the Tobin brothers. Best on ground, trying to break through here with Davis. Got through a couple and then threw it, but umpire got caught blindside and didn't see it.
He was very lucky not to get pinned there. Very lucky.
And the ball's held up 40-point. A 1-point ball game, Surrey Park Eastern Lions. Eastern Lions 12-10-82, Surrey Park 13-5-83 at three-quarter time.
It's a high-scoring game.
It is.
Anything happening?
Williams got his kick away, and it's managed just to find Robinson. It was just a blatant sort
He
of
can kick this.
throw on the boot, but at the 28-minute mark of this third term, they can get back to within 2 goals. After it wasn't long ago that all seemed lost.
Their season could hang on this kick, Brash, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't want to pressure the kid.
No.
No.
Robinson comes in, already has one this afternoon, and kicks very straight. Just screwed it off to the left-hand side and threw for one behind. 16 points the margin. Still in favour of North Ringwood, 6-6-42 Knox. North Ringwood 8-10-58.
Anything happened down at Coonung this afternoon, Dyson?
I got a quarter-time score. I haven't heard much since, Brash.
Okay.
Daniel Wood plays it to himself. Uses every step and then thumps it out of that defensive zone, but it's straight into the arms there of Stanek, who kicks it on his boot. Inside forward 50, who's going to be the flyer here? Couldn't quite pull down the mark. Fenton mops up for North Ringwood. He was quickly smothered. Here's Wolfenden. He was also half smothered. Decker's in there for the Saints. Over the top there, little handball out wide. Here's Scott, goes backwards, dangerous. Fresh air shot there by Robinson in the end. Couldn't quite get boot to ball. Almost copping a high tackle there was Wolfenden. Umpire said play on. Here's Wood and it's all the ball and it's getting kicked through for a goal, but it's not going to be allowed. As the siren sounds to announce three-quarter time, and it is North Ringwood leading this one after a brilliant third term, 8-10-58. Knox are 6-4-42, so the margin is 16 points. We are all set for an epic last quarter. The scoring end for the afternoon is the way that Knox will be kicking. Major goal kickers on the ground are 2 to Tom Hill and also... he's the only multiple goal kicker, actually, for the North Ringwood Football Club. I was on such a good roll, too, and Luke Hannon there for the Knox side has 2. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast of 98.1 Radio Eastern is streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. We'll go back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios, and we'll be back out here at Knox Gardens Reserve for the final 30 minutes.
Real people, real stories.
Whether I'm driving the morning fetch service or I'm actually doing the transfer from my family home, it's very rewarding.
It's heavy lifting, it's emotional, it's uplifting, it's rewarding, and it's a vocation. It's not a job, and I love it.
Watch the A Day in the Life video series now at tobinbrothersfunerals.com.au for an insight into the specialised work they do. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating 80 years of service.
Program sponsor.
Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct for mattresses, bases, beds, electric beds, trundle beds, quality pillows, as well as custom-sized mattresses made to measure. Factory Direct locations around Melbourne and country Victoria. To keep up to date on the latest sales, fun facts and news, go to Facebook, search and like Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct, and you'll join over 17,000 Facebook fans. Chiropedic Mattress Factory Direct. Buy direct from the factory and never pay retail prices again. Or shop online at chiropedic.net.au.
Program sponsor.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
I've got some weekend goals.
Like what?
First, wake up around lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
Second, go in a pancake parlour and get one of their traditional breakfasts because it's served till 5 p.m. every day.
Oh, you gotta go to pancake parlour for your weekend goals. Yeah, what else?
And then when I'm all full,
yeah, like in your belly,
just sit on the couch and watch me team kick some winning goals.
Bang, goal!
Oh, pancake parlour's weekend goals.
Up and about and lovely.
Program sponsor.
Dave and his mates are flying to the Gold Coast to watch their team play the Suns. Do they B, pay too much for a taxi, C, hope for an airport rail link this century, or D, get a lift from a mate and hope for the best when they fly home?
What about A, for A1 airport parking?
At A1 Airport Parking, get 2 days for $25, 3 days for $34, or get 7 days parking for just $69. And at just 5 minutes from the airport, they'll get you there in time for your flight and pick you up when you get home. Show your footy or sporting club membership anytime you park and get 10% off. A1airportparking.com.au.
Program sponsor.
2 after 4, Radio Eastern 98.1 EFL Game Day. We're back for the last quarter of the big game at Knox, North Ringwood in just a moment. Check some AFL scores. And firstly, the game at MCG. A nip and tuck game indeed. It's been tied scores throughout the second half between Hawthorn and Melbourne. It's currently the 15-minute mark of the last quarter, and it's Hawthorn 9-16-70 leading Melbourne 10-3-63, so a 7-point lead halfway through the last quarter to Hawthorn over the Demons. Goal kickers for Hawthorn, Gunston has 3, Bruce 2, Stewart, Hill, O'Brien 1 each, and for Melbourne, Kent and Watts have 2 each, and 1 each to Tyson Jones and Vandenberg. The other game is pretty straightforward. No dramas for the Blues. It's currently the 25-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's Carlton 11-4-70 leading the Brisbane Lions 5-7-37. Goal kickers for Carlton, Lamb, Cripps, Armfield, 2 each, and 1 each to Gorringe and Rowe. And for the Brisbane Lions, single goal kickers to Freeman, Cutler, Jansen, Rich and Keys. So the big close game is at the MCG right now between Hawthorn and Melbourne. That'll get down to the wire for the final siren in about 15 minutes' time, so we'll have some score updates from that game. And the other game this afternoon, the Twilight game, 4:35 down there at Simmons Stadium. Geelong is between Geelong and the Greater Western Sydney. In just a moment, we're back to Knox for the last quarter. This is EFL Game Day.
Bigger and better in season 2016, Netball EFL is back. The fastest growing competition in the eastern suburbs continues to expand. Don't miss the fast-paced action every Friday night across multiple venues. For more information or to get involved, head to efl.org.au. Never miss out on the latest information on the Eastern Football League through the league's social media channels. Live updates, information and scores through the league's Twitter account.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Knox Gardens Reserve, and don't we have a game on our hands? We were just saying that we hope I wish that that quarter would have gone another 5 seconds longer, because we would have had an 10-point game on our hands. In the end, it's a 16-point margin heading into the final change. Knox probably need to get the first within the first couple of minutes, you'd reckon?
Yeah, they certainly got to get the first
Says Captain
goal.
Obvious.
But even if they don't, the game. We said that if the margin was 20 points at this particular time, that maybe the game would be over. But it's not. You know, even if North Ringwood get the first goal, Knox have still got the ability to get back into this game, and because we've spoken about momentum swings all day, and look, there's no doubt that was North Ringwood's quarter. There was 5 goals won to 1 goal won for the quarter, so Knox have really got to start this quarter off on the right foot.
I think what Knox also have to do is they've got to open the corridor and take ownership of the corridor in this last quarter, Ray. They cannot afford to be dilly-dallying around the flanks.
Got Peter Banfield, boys.
We'll cross down boundary side. Thanks to chiropractic betting. Will, you got Pete?
Yeah, I got Pete down here, mate. It seems like a quarter of 2 halves. He started off with 3 goals in the first 9 minutes, but unfortunately let a couple through in the end there.
Yeah, it's one of those coaching days. It was a frustrating day, you know. So, you know, we were really good for the first half of that quarter, mate. So, quarter they got a couple of strong opportunities late. So, but you know, look, we just got to make sure we win this quarter, win the game. So, it's a big quarter for us.
And what's the particular focus going to this last quarter? Is it defensive, offensive, or just through the middle?
No, yardage. Get the ball in our forward line. It's all about, this game's about yardage. So we need to make sure that the ball's in our forward line. We've got to get it. We've just got to keep it in there and lock it in there for as long as we can. Hopefully we can put some scoreboard pressure on.
Lovely. Thanks for that, Pete. Back to you, boys.
Pretty sharp debut from Will de Jong, and thanks very much to Peter Banfield for his time at three-quarter time. And all set for a start. The final term of what is an integral part of both these sides' seasons. Only 8 rounds in, but certainly going to make a massive go of it. As I might read through some of these three-quarter time scores. Born by 70 points, as we get a blood rule. Born by 70 points over South Croydon. A 30-point lead to Blackburn over East Ringwood. Norwood by 4 points in a low-scoring affair, only 8 goals kicked over Montrose. Doncaster by 4 points over Noble Park. Still no three-quarter time score from Vermont and Roval. A 24-point lead to Murrelbach over Mitcham. A 60-point lead to Mulgrave over the Waverley Blues.
Turn up.
A 20-point lead to Bayswater over Wanturna South. In Division 3, Ringwood, after leading by as much as 25 points, now only lead by 4 points over South Belgrave. A 40-point lead to Heathmont over Scoresby. Baronia lead by 23 points over Churnside Park. And the Basin lead by 17 points over Upper Ferntree Gully.
And Bruce has fallen in a pile of mud. Literally.
Good. As North Ringwood get the quick kick in. It was marked by the Knox defence, and now they've got a chance to clear. Handball was a bit hot. And plenty of numbers around there. Knox just going to lock it in right on defensive 50. I'll read through these final Division 4 scores. It's a 1-point lead to Surrey Park, a 5-point lead to Whitehorse Pioneers, a comfortable lead to both Forest Hill and Donvale, and a 20-point lead to Kilsyth over the Gunlavely Hawks. Let's cross boundary side, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, just a quick one, boys. Actually, before the bounce, Davis had I think it was a blood nose and came off, and Waterman jumped straight back on. So Davis will get that patched up and jump back on in the first 5 minutes or so, I reckon.
Sharp work from Will de Jong down boundary side.
So it's about 70 metres out from the North Ringwood goals. I tell you what, if they get the first one, they'll take some beating today.
Three-quarter time at Vermont Recreation Reserve. Vermont 10-11-61, as I just lose it. Roval 4-8-32.
I think that
comes out now. Here's Harbeck, slams it on his boot. Which way will it bounce?
Ooh. I think that
Just
might
left.
be 10-11-71.
Correct.
So minor score on the board. Let's get the score out on this game, 59-42. Knox to bring it back in. I tell you what, that was really close, that one. So Greaves dumps it out, looking for the big ruckman there in Beach. He had a fly at the fall of Williams, dropped the football in the end, picked up there. Shaw Sharp just knocked it on to his teammate in Cullen Hall, who lost the football as well. Umpire said, play on. Couldn't get rid of it there, was Black. Football still alive across the 50-metre arc. It's down North Ringwood's end. Jordan over the top there for Knox. Little handball out wide. Here's Matty Whelan. Got the handball away to Scott on the left boot. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Haley went after it. And he had an opponent in Lockie Stanek right on his hammer and will have a bounce.
Like a dog with a bone, but Croydon and Sylvan, no scores all day. We wouldn't even know how that game was going at the moment. Apologies, I just thought I'd throw in my 2 cents.
No worries. As Hill goes up after it, there's a lot of players around this. Greaves lays a tackle for Knox, and we'll have another bounce. Doncaster East score at three-quarter time, Dice.
Donny East, haven't got it yet.
Comes out now.
Lead by 29 points.
Kick goes out towards the wing position here. They're going backwards to go forwards. It'll fend off. Fresh air shots. And eventually a boundary throw-in.
Couple of things I just noticed there. Knox just not taking the first option when the ball presented itself, Ray.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Bruce has just come back covered in mud.
And
exactly what we
didn't get it on camera.
Yeah. We got wheels stacked.
He likes to play in mud, but not in this instant. As the kick goes
nice
forward,
clear out from Wolfenden inside forward 50. Bouncing ball, North Ringwood to clear at the back of the pack. Numbers here favour the Saints. He's got to be smart with the disposal. Comes back out to centre wing commentary side.
Good play.
And it was. Nice mark taken by Harbeck. Quickly gave it away to Scott. Now they go towards forward 50. Hill.
Great tackle.
Wrapped up. Yep, going absolutely nowhere. Held up there by Stanek.
Look, we've said it before. The tackling in this game has been spot on by both sides.
So, still 4 minutes gone. No addition to the score for Knox, which is the important part of this game. Waterman went through his hands. 3 on 2, and the 2 wins out. Great work there from Ersic, got it forward. Now they go further afield through Harbeck. To the top of the goal square, numbers favour North Ringwood, round the body. I think that was Haley.
It was.
And Hill almost takes the mark, can't quite hold on to it at the last second when the contact came. Snap off the body there, Van Unit was smothered. Now they've just got to try and make the most of the numbers here, North Ringwood. There's plenty of them. Bodies flying left, right and centre, and in the end it's Powell held right at the bottom of the pack. Let's cross the boundary side thanks to chiropractic betting. Will Dijon.
Hill just a huge knock in that contest. It was 2v1 and he's still on the ground trying to... I think he might be a bit winded there, boys, and he's only just getting up now, just outside the contest. He'll be looking to get back into this one, though. They need him.
So, secondary ball up.
Knox are defending well, but they've got to score. They've got to score. You can't leave it too late in the quarter.
It's and we've already gone 5.5 minutes. Whelan tried to get it away, dropped it at the crucial moment. And biggest man going against the smallest man as Beach tried to take him down. Numbers around, good work there from Rafferty. Couldn't get his kick away. Nice work to try and clean up was Wolfenden. And in the end, the umpire holds it up once again. So this, every moment that ticks down in this part of the ground is a good one for North Ringwood. Knox need to get something moving. Williams tries to do that and just punches it forward. But to no avail, it gains about 15 metres before going over the boundary line out of bounds.
Yes, it's, you know, the game's just hit a bit of a lull here.
Pye to bring it back in. You sense that North Ringwood are really peppering here.
It's almost like they're trying to issue the killer blow, isn't it? The knockout punch.
That's it.
A punch that Muhammad Ali would be proud of.
Pye throws it up, straight into the arms there of Darcy Powell. We'll have another bounce. So a lot of stoppages early in this final term. Every minute that ticks away is an important one. Pye throws it up. Little knock down there by McKinnon. Kick off the ground there by Fenton. Hits the top of the goal square. Tommy Hill's over it. He doesn't want to get rid of it either. He might just get pinged here. That's holding the ball, and that is exactly holding the ball as well. Just sat on it, didn't want to do anything with it. So Knox, now a chance for them. Here's Greaves, switches it wide. Mark's been taken by Tyler, who takes off. He's got a bit of dash, doesn't he, as he kicks it up towards the wing position, getting underneath it, and almost pulling it down there was Hanegraaff. Couldn't take the mark. Snap around the body now by Morgan for the Saints, but straight back down the throat there of Tyler. So screaming for players to move towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard side, dropping marks that they probably should have taken there. Morgan slams it on his boot, and a great mark taken by Matty Scott. Only for the football.
There was nothing in that. That was just contact. There was nothing in that at all.
It wasn't late. It wasn't late.
Both players were committed to the contest.
Scott swings around now on the right boot, kicks it inside forward 50. A strong mark by Van Nuenen out in front. probably a little bit too far out to score. He just tried to poke it over the top. The kick was smothered. Whelan goes in after it again for the Saints. Paddled it, and over the boundary line it goes.
Norwood 7-10-52 at three-quarter time lead. Montrose 7-3-45.
Norseman.
They really do need a win today, the Norsemen.
Ball thrown back in. 45 metres round from the North Ringwood goal. So it gets held up and it clears once again. Good work from Haley. Tried to get it away. Kicking off the ground, it should have been. Umpire call play on. And it's held up. You'll see the Knox faithful know the umpire on a first-name basis, which makes it a lot easier to abuse them.
Yeah.
Done their research as Wolfenden tries to get it away. Just a kick straight into his opponent's leg. Probably could have picked it up there. I think that was Hanegraaff. Couldn't get it away. And it's held up once again. Sorry, it was Forbes. It clears out. Now they just boot it forward. Tarrant turn like the Titanic. Try saying that 10 times fast. Ball's on centre wing, commentary side here. Numbers favour North Ringwood. Very clean for a wet day, Todd Morgan. And turns it over.
Kick the ball.
Got to move it quickly. Plenty of numbers around. And couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Greaves. It falls to the back of the pack. Numbers favour North Ringwood, and Woodmarks kicks true. Finds Matty Scott at centre wing.
So Scott looking sideways. Sharp was calling for it. Grandstand side. That's ignored. Kick goes up towards the half-forward line now. A little push out, I think. But Greaves took the mark anyway, but it was a free kick against Powell.
Well, it was never going to be a North Ringwood free kick.
So Waterman now sends it up towards the wing position. Knocked over the boundary line and out. He's had a super game, Timmy Jones.
Yep.
Solid as a rock, Brash.
You know, great game from him.
Tyler comes off. Looking a little bit spent. He's had a good couple of minutes for Knox. Just need probably a little bit of luck. A big fist that time there by Lukey Williams. Over towards the boundary line it goes. Couldn't quite trap it. Was Morgan. And out she goes. Right near the Knox interchange.
I just think, Ray, that the experienced players of North Ringwood have really come to the fore in the second half. You know, I think that's been the difference.
Well, they certainly were in that third quarter. They were the ones that stood up when they had to.
They're edging closer. Greaves had the front spot, got the knockdown. There's so many players are just following this ball. That was a throw out the back there, but straight into the arms there of Williams, who banged it on his left boot. Inside forward 50 it goes, keeping it alive there. Well, that was pretty good play. But
what's a go here?
Hanegraaff.
Free kick to North Ringwood.
For a throw against Mitch Hanegraaff.
So Decker on the left, looking for Harbeck, who had the front spot. Pack forms at the fall of the ball. Here's Wolfenden, who might get the handball here, or swing around on the left. No, he gave the handball away. Picked up there by Will, and he got dispossessed of it. You heard the Knox fans screaming for a free kick. They've got some good forward pressure happening here. Got on there by Shepherd, tapped it to his advantage, then had a fresh air shot. Tapped it again to his advantage, went after it. Wolfenden's in there. So too is the big ruckman there in Greaves. Got it forward. This is okay. Oh, there was just no talk. Black tried to get boot to ball, and he's pulled down in a great tackle.
He's another one that's had a good game. Michael Scott.
Matt Scott.
Matt Scott.
Park Orchards by 10 points early in the last quarter.
Oh, Greaves dropped what he probably should have taken. Had a little bit of time. It could have been pink for holding the ball there. The umpire said play on. Here's Stanek on the left boot. Kicks the ball inside. Forward 50. What a strong mark that was. That's a beauty by Hanegraaff. He's already kicked one this afternoon, and what an important bit of play this kick on goal is.
Really classy kick from Stanek there.
Yeah, it was great play.
Actually, I think he's probably been Knox's best player in that back line today. I reckon he's held them together, and his disposal and tackling has been very, very good as well.
Well, the crowd will tell the story. We've gone 12 minutes in this final term to peg back the margin.
Ooh.
Got too close to the man on the mark then and kicked it straight through the behind. So a minor score is the result. Back to 16 points here. North Ringwood have the lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Hawks have got up by 18 points in the end over Melbourne. As Wood will do the kicking duties.
What's the Brisbane Carlton score?
Short, ugly. I haven't seen it all day, to be honest. Plenty of numbers around for North Ringwood as they just try and clear it out. Not clean, so...
It stayed in.
Still, how did that stay in? Morgan, just a little bit of magic trying to keep it in there. Haley sitting right over the top of it. Laid an egg and over the boundary line it went.
Brash, do you just feel that if Knox can get one, maybe they can get a second one straight away?
They could.
It's just got to get that one on the board.
They could.
Thrown in 50 metres out from the Knox goal. And Tarrant Shooter just, instead of picking up, just tried to tap it all on the ground. Whelan threw his body on the line, tried to get it away, couldn't do so.
Jackie Wheeler enjoy that shower tonight, I reckon.
So, this time Van Unen goes the third man up. Williams was tackled as soon as he got it. Whelan was tackled as soon as he got it by Davis. Umpire said he pushed him in the back.
Professional free kick.
And he's just reversed it. No?
Actually, Luke Williams was lucky not to get pinned there.
So, and Whelan lucky not to reverse his free kick.
Yeah, I know.
He got up and just smacked Scott Davis right in the mush. Kick to centre wing, commentary side. A lot of feeling in this game, but still a 16-point margin. Trying to get it away, Van Unen. And still plenty going on. Numbers around the contest, probably at about 25. And
it's a pretty impressive fly kick there by Greaves.
the problem is that we've gone 14 minutes for Knox, and they're still yet to kick a goal, which is exactly what they need to do. Van Unen couldn't get it away. Williams threw his head over it. Got tackled there by Whelan, trying to get it away. Good work off the back of the pack, Woofenden. And in the end, holding up his opponent there was Greaves.
Dyson, you mentioned that we're gone 14 minutes and Knox haven't kicked a goal, but North Ringwood haven't kicked one either to put the nail in the
Exactly
coffin.
right.
Greaves got the knockdown. I said play on.
Blackburn have won by 33 points.
Yes.
So Lowe has the ball. What was that yes for, Brush?
Just one of my many tips that are going well this afternoon.
Unlike last week.
Kick goes up to half forward. That's just to absolutely no one. Harbeck in position A takes the mark. He'll kick it back towards the wing position. They've got the numbers. The Saints out wide and Van Unen takes it.
That should be 25.
Ran across the bound on the mark.
Absolutely no idea there. I think it was Forbes. And not happy about it either. So that's 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, gosh.
Kick goes forward there, looking for Hill, knocked away from him and over the boundary line.
And actually couldn't have been any more in front of the effects mark, Declan Forbes, either.
Bruce has got to put the effects mic right over the other side of the ground this week.
We should put it at AFL House.
High throws it in. Comes out to Lowe. They've got to weigh up their options here as it comes out. Snap around the body into the middle of the ground. What can they pull off here? Decker got the handball back. Ooh. Jones' kick was smothered. Now they've got a bit of a go here. Here's Jordan on the right boot, goes inside forward 50. There's a man free, and it's Greaves. He's had a good last turn. He was going to go on with it, but he should.
In essence, that was probably the right decision in the end.
No, I reckon he should have gone on with it because he had two teammates running to the square.
I don't think he would have outrun his opponent.
No. I think he made the right decision.
We'll soon find out.
And he sprays it out of bounds on the foot.
Look, at the end of the day, are these chances, that's what's cost Knox a game, if they lose a game. Certainly, they've had their chances in the last few minutes to get a couple of goals on the board, and they've just blown it.
I think it's like the coaches said at the start, their turnovers have killed them again today, Knox.
It'll be tough for North Ringwood to get it out here, but the fly came from Haley, tried to get it away. Williams threw his body on the line. Quick kick away there came from McCarthy. Haven't seen much of him most of the day. That'll be a high contact. Not much in it, to be honest.
A bit of a head clash more than anything.
And Locos rode the bump beautifully, so he's won the free kick. That's 70 from his defensive goal. Pretty much every player on centre wing at the moment. And that's exactly where he's going to kick to. This one's going to go high to a pack of about 10.
What's going on?
And there'll be a holding free kick going the way of Knox.
Advantage.
An advantage. Plenty of space to work in. Woofenden gets it inside 450. And that's exactly what the Falcons needed.
But that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to move the ball quickly throughout this quarter. They've been caught flat-footed there, forward line.
Rain Harris?
Harris, I believe it's Harris.
Correct.
Your man with the shoulder bandages, BWS.
So,
if there's a guy that's capable of kicking a goal, this man is.
Exactly. Already has one this afternoon. He's probably going home with a $100 voucher for chiropractic betting. Can he win this side of the game? Puts him ever so close by scoring a point. and bringing the margin back to 15. 6-8-44 Knox, North Ringwood 8-11-59. How good is that scoreboard once it starts to get dark?
I know. I gave it a wrap pre-game, mate. I was terrific.
80 minutes gone, final term.
If it wasn't lit up, we would be playing in the dark.
I better put my sunglasses on. The glare's killing me.
Jones to bring the ball back in. Sure, there'll be a few final scores to mention shortly as the ball goes back out. Will they get another chance to go forward here? Picked up by Black almost. Right on his hammer was Van Noonan. They've managed to work themselves out here well. He's sharp on the right boot. Gets the kick up towards Hill. Trapped it nicely. Snaps around the body. They've gone coast to coast here. He's looking there for Haley. Got his opponent there in McCarthy, who just threw it over the top there to Stanek. They need to work this out between them here. Back to him. Little kick out wide. Nicely done there by Shepherd. Equally as done there. Well done there by Waterman. Got the little handball back. Now can Knox just get themselves out. Whelan went attacking after the football. Wolfenden got the handball away. It was stolen again. Here's Harris. His kick was smothered by Wolfenden. Oh, and a high tackle almost could have been paid there. Non-officiating umpire seen it, and it will come back. It'll go to North Ringwood, who will have a shot on goal with Drew Powell.
Norwood by a point, 20 minutes gone, final term. Park Orchards by 2 points, halfway through the final term.
Short passes on into the pocket, and you can't leave players.
The player
free.
down. The player that smothered that ball, that's the one that's down. How many times today have we seen a full-blooded kick get smothered? Yeah, it's happened lots and lots of times.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side quickly, thanks to chiropractic betting.
Yeah, as you just said there, Ray, it's Whelan coming off, and he's got one to the head. Bit of blood pouring out there. I think he's just going to try and run off as quick as possible.
Well, it's all deja vu. It's take two, whichever way you want to call it, and the kick's found Matt Scott in the forward pocket as Jackie Whelan gets a standing ovation for a super game that he has had out here this afternoon. Time on has been crossed, 20 minutes gone here in the final term. Margin is 15 points. This to take it to 21. It's a hard spot to kick it, but it's a beautiful kick off the boot. That's gone through. What an absolute ripper that was. Matt Scott picks his first of the afternoon, and North Ringwood, I believe, have done enough now. 9 goals, 11-65 lead. Knox 6-5-44.
Yep, Fat Lady can sing right now.
Bayswater have got over the line against Wanturna South by 10 points. Bayswater 9-5-59, Wanturna South 7-7-49, Mulgrave 13-6-84, 49-point winners over all the Waverley Blues 4-11-35. As I mentioned before, a 33-point win to Blackburn over East Ringwood. And those couple of tight games between Park Orchards and Sylvan and Nord and Montrose still going on at the moment.
Waverley Blues again, Brash.
Yep. They just don't know how to win, Waverley Blues. They can't win games they should be winning.
Knox get the clearance. They go inside forward 50. Robinson tried to raffle it off. Good work. I tell you what, this bloke's been great. Todd Morgan.
Yep.
Gets his kick away up towards centre wing. Plenty of players around the contest trying to work it out. Fenton, been good as well. Was very good early. And now he just tries to drive through the pack. Can't do so.
Your boys Bayswater are doing okay, Ray?
They're all right. I said last week on the no, this week it might have been that they're just gaining momentum. They're working into the end of the season.
Nord have just had a shot to potentially win the game, put themselves a goal and a half up, and still 4 points the margin.
Must have gone out in the full.
I hope you noticed, BWS, that I picked your boys this week too to get over Lilydale.
Still looking for another score. Maybe Josh Dawes got on a plane to go overseas.
Yeah, he's already gone. So Morgan once again, the man, just the general across half-back he has been all day, goes through the legs and now a chance to work it out there through Ursic.
Here we go.
Plenty of space for Sharp to work in, loads up to an empty goal square. Which way will this one bounce? Nice. Straight through the middle. Charlie Haley sees it through and sends it on its way. And a great goal there from Anthony Sharp. And that one is pretty much all she wrote. 10-11-71 North Ringwood, Knox 6-8-44, 22 and a half minutes gone, final term.
Just the experience of North Ringwood's players have just come to the cream has risen to the top in the second half, Ray.
Look, you're dead right. And look, Knox, they've only got themselves to blame. They've had their opportunities, but they've turned the ball over on countless many times.
So 27 points now is the margin. Almost held without the football there was Morgan. Knox go forward. Inside the forward 50 they go. In the front spot, good mark there by Robertson. It was knocked away late. He's lucky he didn't get a fit 25 there, Loco.
He's been lively for them today.
Robertson short passes on, and Davis has made some space, and he's well within range here. But we've noticed that anyone that's had a shot from that side of the ground has always pushed it across the face of goal. So it is a difficult ask.
Upper Gully by 4 points over the Basin.
Gee, they had to pull out all the stops today, Upper Gully.
Yep.
Davis pushes it to the left-hand side this time. So Knox get another behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 6-9-45. North Ringwood at 10-11-71. Now you can go.
Sorry, Doncaster have held on by 3 points over Noble Park.
You beauty.
Oh my God.
7-11-7-8, the final score. Doing the kick out duties here. Jones goes long to the outer side. Fly came from the back, no mark taken. Williams at the back of the pack, handballs long over the top. Nice tap down. Found its target there in Woofenden, who in turn finds, I think it was Forbes.
Brash, just on that Noble Park result, could we have a first time ever where we have two finalists not making the finals the following year?
Most definitely.
With Norwood and Noble Park, it could be on.
Could be.
So Forbes deep in the pocket, elects to go right to the top of the goal square. Funny fly, and almost a great mark taken there by Hannon. In the end, the kick comes off the back, and it's a rush behind. The 10th on the board for Knox. They move on to 6-10-46. North Ringwood 10-11-71.
I think the biggest problem with Knox is when you don't have a quality spine, you're forced to play the flanks all the time because you're looking for other avenues of goal. And in days like today, it just doesn't work.
Final score coming through from Doncaster East from Dave Whalen, Dyson.
Yeah, let me do my mental 12-7, 7-10. What's that, 35 points?
That's a good win up there.
Kick goes inside forward 50 and a strong mark out in front there by Rain Harris.
So our boys got over the line, ABWS.
See, he's called them our boys. Hang on a sec.
I backed them this week. They're our boys this week.
Norwood have held on in a thriller, 7-11 over Montrose, 8-3.
Yeah.
4 points.
Gee, bad kicking won that game too.
Harris comes in and he has squeezed it home. So Knox finally get a major on the board. They've been searching for that for the last 25 minutes. That's number 7 for them. That's Harris's second on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 52 plays 71.
I suppose with the opportunities they had to kick goals this quarter and all the ones they missed, they had to kick one eventually, you know. And that didn't get in by that much either, did it, Brush?
No. I reckon we're looking at about a 28, 29-minute quarter here, Ray.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You saying there's still time, Brash?
Yeah, I do, actually. We're at the 26.
They'd have to kick 5 goals in 4 minutes. It's going to help. They got a free kick going the way of Williams, who roosts it inside forward 50, and that's almost a mark taken there off the back of the pack by Greaves. So that 4 minutes that Brash was talking about ended up being about 4 seconds. And North Ringwood have held on to take their second 4 points of the season. 10-11-71 the Saints. The Falcons 7-10-50 to a 26-minute final term. They were well within their rights to say they were in the contest up to their ears. They trailed by 9 points at quarter time. They led by 8 points at half time. They led by North Ringwood led by 16 points at three-quarter time, and in the end it was a 19-point win to North Ringwood.
Look, Dyson, I think the big winner today has been the football itself because, look, the way that both these sides, they threw themselves in regardless of, what's going to happen to them. And, look, it was a great exhibition of wet weather football.
Yeah, look, and it wasn't. Both sides gave it everything. They knew... look, they both had to put it on the line today because, look, I know it's only round 8, but it means a lot. Now with the ring to North Ringwood, much needed confidence for them. Puts them 2 games clear off the bottom ladder with more percentage. Knox.
Yeah, well, it gives them a bit of breathing space now. Now, the acid has certainly gone back on Knox. Now they've got to turn their season around somehow in a very short period of time. That's right.
But I mean, they have the nucleus there. It's just a matter of, there's no doubt that the side out there is going out there every week and trying their heart out, but they're just not seeming to generate enough scoring opportunities at the appropriate times, Ray.
Brash, the comment you made there just 5 minutes before the final siren went, where you said that they had no spine down the middle of the ground, down the corridor, so they had to go wide. But what you got to do is you got to adapt your game to what sort of players you've got out there. So if that was the case, maybe they should have put their players out on the flanks and left that corridor open to run into an open space. You've just got to adapt your game to whatever you've got.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Just got the Ferntree Gully score.
And they've got Rissold, have they?
Opening it up now. Ferntree Gully 8-8-56.
Brother.
Have defeated Whitehorse Pioneers 5-13-43.
Jeez.
Okay.
So
let's get out
13
of jail.
points, yeah.
8-8-56. Fish and chops. 5-13-43. As the Saints make their way into the rooms. This will be a fairly loud
I think
the
it will be,
Saints.
yes.
Second time in 2 months.
Yeah.
They'll get to sing the song. And I think we'll almost...
And
there we go.
I think BWS has gone in there with them.
Yeah, good luck trying to get out. They'll be right over this one. Final score from South Belgrave. They've got... Oh, no, they haven't. 10-9-69.
Lemon
South
chicken.
Belgrave. Ringwood 12-12-84. So Ringwood got up by 15 points in the end. North Ringwood victors by 19 points.
They didn't waste any time taking the score down off the scoreboard.
Simple and elegant. One of the best songs in the Eastern Football League.
That's it.
And they certainly did that this afternoon. They were challenged all day. We knew it was going to be a tight affair. And in the end, they've been able to prevail by, as I mentioned, 19 points. Still waiting for a few other scores to come through. We might take you through the ones that we've got so far, just while we're waiting for a couple of interviews. Kilsyth have held on. 10-8-68. Try and explain this one. 10-8. Kilsyth have gone 10-8-69, which is not right. It's 10-8-68 to 9-5-63, which should be 9-5-59.
Yeah.
So we'll go with 10-8-68 to 9-5-59 and say it was a 9-point win in favour of Kilsyth. Final score, Nunawading, Donvale. Donvale's 36-31, 247, and Nunawading 1-4-10.
Oh, it's good that they kicked a goal this week, Nunawading.
Yes, certainly
That's
is.
an improvement.
Still waiting for a few other scores to come through. There's a couple of close affairs going on around the Eastern Football League that we want to keep an eye on while we're waiting for...
But weather is a great leveler, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
it does bring the sides closer together. And, normally in these sort of conditions, a 10, 15-minute burst by a side can often be the difference in winning and losing a game.
Yeah, no, you're dead right. Look, it brings the sides that run on top of the ground, on these conditions, it just brings them back to the field. And the classy players, look, there's only so much you can do as far as the natural ability and class goes when the ball's slippery and the ground's a little bit wet.
And this is when and the funny thing is, this is when your classy players really come to play. In these type of games and in these type of conditions, you find out a lot about your good players in conditions like this.
Well, Peter Banfield summed it up in the interview there at three-quarter time. He said all they're after this quarter is yardage. And then in wet weather football, that is so important. It doesn't matter how you get the yardage, but you've got to get the yardage down there. Or as we say today, meterage.
Yeah.
From the old school.
That's right.
Peter Banfield.
Yeah.
7-10-52 Upper Ferntree Gully. This score hasn't changed in a little while, so I'm assuming it's going to be a final one. 7-6-48 the Basin after the Basin led all day. They've got done in the end. Final score, Baronia Churnside Park. 9-3-57. Boronia have defeated Chirnside Park. This is the bad kicking is bad football, Brash.
Yeah.
3-13-31.
I finally got on the Chirnside bandwagon. They've let me down.
Going to jump off?
Don't know yet.
So certainly an intriguing day of afternoon Eastern Football League football this afternoon, and we knew it was going to be so, as we mentioned numerous times. The weather just playing havoc with a few sides. Final score: Vermont Roval 11-14-80. Vermont Roval 5-11-41. So still a little bit of a gap between the best at the moment and the chasing pack.
Oh yeah, you know, when sides have got players out, you know, no, Roval got over the line.
The excuses coming from the Roval cheer squad.
Roval got over the line against Baldwin the other week, but Baldwin had players out. Vermont's got over Roval this week because Roval's had players out. Look, it's going to be a great final series with those three, and I say top three because they will fill the top three spots.
Oh yeah, 100%. So still waiting on final scores from Baldwin, Croydon, who we've heard nothing from all day.
Sylvan.
Heathmont, Sylvan, Templestowe.
Well, the last ball were about 80 points up, so...
Yeah, they've comfortably got up, I would assume.
Yep.
Oh, no, got a final score. Asking you shall receive. Brash.
Very good.
16-12-108. Baldwin have defeated South Croydon 5-5-35.
Actually, 16-12 is not a bad
wet
score for down at Baldwin Park in this weather.
Well, that centre cricket area there, that would have been terrible today.
Final score: Park Orchards and Sylvan 9-6-60. Park Orchards have defeated Sylvan 7-9-51 by 9 points.
That's an important win, really, for Park Orchards. You know, just to get their momentum back. They had a horrific loss last week against Chirnside, a win that they thought they should have got, but they've got back on the horse.
Heathmont 12-84 have defeated Scoresby 4-7-31 by 53 points in the end. As we're just about to get our first guest on the line.
It's the man himself.
And the man himself is as wet as they come. He's as dirty as they come, but that's because he played an absolute fierce game this afternoon. Jacko Whelan, a tough, hard-fought win, exactly what you were probably expecting to come here and see.
Yeah, absolutely. We spoke about it a lot during the week that it was going to be a tough win if we were going to get the win. The style of play that was going to be played was going to be hard-fought, and then when the weather rolled in this morning, we knew that was just going to exaggerate that even more. So, yeah, it was just a credit to the boys to fight it out all day, even though Knox fought back in the second quarter there and went into half-time just in front. Just a real credit to the boys to fight back and get themselves back in the game.
One of the things that we mentioned pre-game that we sort of alluded to as maybe a winning cause was a few of the Mosquito fleet. Yourself, Charlie Haley, who's come in leaps and bounds, Tony Morgan. There's a few of those guys that are probably around the 5'5" mark and not the biggest, but you certainly threw your bodies in all afternoon.
Yeah, we call them the pocket rockets.
There you go.
Yeah, no, the boys have been fantastic. I mean, the weather obviously suited the little fellas, the inside players today. So we knew we needed a big effort from those guys, and I think every single one of them stepped up to the plate. The young Aaron Fenton, who's come back from Port Melbourne, must have had 15 tackles today, I reckon.
Jack, many a time this afternoon on the broadcast, we mentioned that the tackling of both sides was ferocious. Did you feel it out there today more so than say other games this season?
Yeah, definitely. Again, I think the weather maybe had a bit of an impact on that, but we came here today with, as we do every week, just with the intent to tackle and pressure, and the feedback we've been getting from our opposition all year is that we're a pretty good tackling side. We're young, we're inexperienced, but just as long as we can bring the heat and keep that tackling pressure up, that's our goal for the rest of the year.
And leading on to that, Jack, congratulations, great game from you today.
Yep.
You must be really happy with your form. You've been, being in the top 3 or 4 players at North Ringwood, oppositions would have done a lot of homework. What have you had to do to try and break the tag that these oppositions, especially, have tried on you this year?
Not a lot. Just what I always do, I suppose. Just work hard and try and get the inside ball, which is usually a lot harder to defend. So. Look, I'm not the fittest bloke out there, but just hard work all day and inside and trying to be strong and give the first option to my teammates with a little bit more class and finesse. So.
And mate, just how about for the clubs rooms, the morale with the boys, a win like that, a bit down on the table, and just to get a real hard-fought win in the wet, it must be really good for the morale for the boys.
Absolutely will, mate. It's just fantastic. I suppose we spoke about it before the game that we've probably had, 5 or 6 honourable losses. But at the end of the season, if you get relegated, your honourable losses don't mean a thing. So
no, they don't.
It was a real focus for us today to go out there and make sure we came away with the 4 points. And we got a club function tonight, so couldn't have grabbed them on a better day. So I'm sure we're going to go and enjoy it and then work towards Blackburn next week. So.
I was going to say, perfect chance to celebrate and a great win by yourselves. Great work, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
All the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers.
Thanks very much to Jack Whelan. Played an absolutely fantastic game this afternoon, and certainly we'll be featuring in our votes, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
When we go through them. We've still got plenty of time, so we might try and get BWS to chase up a few other guests if he's around.
Yeah.
He's right behind me. I'll get him to work, and we'll see if we can get maybe a couple of other guests to come on the line. But just listening to Jack there, you just can't underestimate how important a win it was for this club today.
We mentioned that before the game.
But like he just said, right, honourable losses count for Jack if they get relegated.
Exactly right.
And the thing is, like today, just when you need your experienced players to step up to the mark, and they've got plenty of them that have played First Division like Jack, right? They come to the fore, and we probably didn't get a chance to ask him, but I was actually going to ask him myself, when did he actually think that North Ringwood sort of had the game under control? And I probably would have answered it around probably that 16, 17-minute mark of the third quarter.
Yeah. And look, no doubt Peter Banfield really got into them at half-time because, you know, as I said, the tackling of both sides was ferocious. But it was North Ringwood in that third quarter, that first 10, 15 minutes of that third quarter, that I believe that's when they turned the game into their way of...
Yep.
Will stitched up a couple of players of beauty. And,
another pocket rocket here.
Joining us, part of the Pocket Rocket Brigade, and one man who was targeted pretty much all day, Charlie Haley. You copped a fair bit, couple of enemies that you made at Knox in a pretty short amount of time.
I'm good at making enemies. Everywhere I go, I make a few, so it's all part of it.
Fair bit of feeling out there between two sides. Obviously, that was expected in a pretty harsh wet weather game.
Yeah, no, we're pretty good in and underside. So when it was a wet day, I thought we were a big chance. And our inside mids all day, Jack Whelan, Scotty, Jaden, that got us over the line. So it was good.
When did you actually feel that you had the game in your control? Was it about the 17-minute mark of the last quarter when you...
Third quarter.
The third quarter, I mean, when you came out after half-time and your intensity certainly lifted for what you were producing in the first half.
Yeah, we knew it was a pretty big game. Like, we're at 1-6 and Knox at the side to beat. It was an 8-point game and Pete gave us a pump up and, we come out and kicked a few early and then we felt on top, but they were always going to come and keep coming and then... I only thought it was over when Scotty kicked that goal from the pocket, so at about the 20-minute mark in the last.
Charlie, I know we mentioned about making enemies and that, but actually that works to your advantage because that means the opposition are taking their mind off the job of what they really are. So, in essence, you're doing a job without actually, having any sort of input with the ball. So, look, it works both ways, but, I mean... Today, like for yourself, that forward line, even though you didn't get a lot of goal-scoring opportunities, one of the things that I thought that the forward line did well was hold the ball in that forward line to try and create as many scoring opportunities.
Yeah, well, in that third quarter, Pete put me behind the ball to move forward, and that created a bit of space up forward. And then when we got the ball forward, all the small forwards, Aaron, has had about 20 tackles inside 10 minutes, Jimmy and all that. We just locked it, and that's probably when... We won the game from, we probably held it in that left pocket for 10 to 15 minutes in the third quarter. So from then on, that's what we were after.
And, mate, you probably more than anyone else copped it from the crowd a bit. How good is the win away from home? And for the boys inside the rooms, how good is that?
Yeah, no, we knew that Knox were a lot better side here. Pete was saying 3 or 4 goal better side, and we've knocked them off by, I think, 3 goals. And, I like when the crowd get into me. Fires me up.
I was going to say, you seem to be a bit of a common denominator. You went down to Geelong and you copped a fair bit from a couple of their players, got into a bit of a spat with one of their little pocket rockets, and same thing happened today. But I tell you what, it must feel pretty good when you've finally got the 4 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I play better when I get into them. So, when someone's on me, I just like to let them know that I'm there. And yeah, from then on, it was good to get the 4 points. And yeah,
as you would.
Have a good one tonight.
Go and celebrate it.
Cheers, boys.
Enjoy. Thanks very much to Charlie Haley for joining us. Another bloke who had a great game and probably played a few various roles over the course of the day, and definitely made his impact felt across the afternoon.
Yeah, he was very good. I think Bresh there at one stage likened him to Stephen Milne, and he was that. And you've got to have a player like that in your side that sometimes can get under the skin of the opposition.
Well, in fact, because exactly that's what he's done.
Yeah.
He's actually got them to drop the opposition have dropped the ball because they've wasted useless energy on trying to suck him in, and they've been the losers.
Yeah.
Musical headphones here.
Apologies, Will. It's a bit sweaty and grassy at the moment.
No, all
the two
good.
guests that we had. So
all good.
As we get everyone back on the mic, we'll start wrapping up. We've still got plenty of time.
Have we?
There's still
What
about
time is
15
it?
minutes before we wind up to 5 o'clock.
Oh, well.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
Got 10 minutes, haven't we?
Oh, well, close enough. 10
Near
minutes.
enough. We can waffle on for 10 more
Computers.
minutes.
Well, computers.
You just ask a few questions. That'll take 10 minutes, bro.
Exactly. I'm good at that.
While we get 2 hours on an AFL Sunday. Your thoughts on the game, Ben? We've spoken about the fact that North Ringwood sort of had control from midway through the third quarter, and that they started to really show something and didn't seem like they were going to be beaten. But I'm full credit to Knox. They were in it up to their ears.
It was such a high intense game of football today as well. I'd love to have seen like a final tackle count for both sides. I thought the pressure out there from both teams was absolutely super. In a sense, it was desperation football to a degree, but I think that North Ringwood, you just felt like they wanted it a bit more, and they had probably at the crucial stages a little bit more polish than the Knox Football Club. But I tell you what, it was anyone's game right up until three-quarter time, where we thought that maybe North Ringwood, after that brilliant third quarter, they'd just probably done enough to put themselves over the line in that. But I tell you, that was such an even performance on the field from a side. North Ringwood, for me, Jack Whelan was a standout today. But in saying that, I believe that like the whole team really did their job this afternoon. And even listening to Banners in the rooms afterwards, he was absolutely wrapped with the full team, all-round team performance as well. So hats off to them. We know that they've been in so many games so far this year, so reward for effort once again. And looking forward to heading out there and watching them again only in a couple of weeks' time on the standalone Sunday game, the local derby against East Ringwood, which I've just teed up with the president as well, Dyson. So you'll be happy to know that. But hats go off to Knox for hosting such a great game out here as well. And there was a really good crowd. Everybody got involved, and I tell you what, they certainly enjoyed what was put out on the park today. And that last quarter, yes, it was a little bit slower. The tempo slowed down, but it was still that same ferocity, still that same desperation. And just because there wasn't goals kicked didn't mean that every single contest was heavily met by both teams. But North Ringwood, congratulations to them. It's been a few too long between drinks of watching both of these sides, I suppose, and really happy to come out here today and see the Saints do what they did, and they did it really well. And that was a good song in there as well. They really enjoyed that, and they've got a big night up at the club tonight as well. So that's also great, and congratulations.
All bar a couple of final scores have come in. I might quickly run through a few of these. No surprises that we still haven't got the Croydon Spellwood score. Two sides who struggle to get their scores in at the best of times. Mitchell Murrelbach still waiting on a final score. At three-quarter time, it was Murrelbach by 24 points. I'll quickly run through before we start going through our votes and all the awards.
Yep.
Baldwin 16-12-108 have defeated South Croydon 5-5-35. Blackburn 33-point winners 11-11-77 defeating East Ringwood 6-8-44. Norwood held on by 4 points 7-13-55 and in a vital win over Montrose 8-3-51. Doncaster, speaking of holding on, led by as much as 20 points, but that got quickly dwindled down by Noble Park. 7-11-53, they defeated Noble Park 7-8-50. Vermont 11-14-80 have defeated Roval 5-11-41. Mulgrave 13-6-84, 49-point winners over Waverley Blues 4-11-35. Donny East 12-7-79 defeated Lilydale 7-10-52. Bayswater by 10 points 9-5-59 over Wanturna South 7-7-49. Ringwood 12-12-84 over South Belgrave 10-9-69. A 53-point win to Heathmont over Scoresby 12-12 to 4-7. Baronia 9-3-57 defeated Churnside Park 3-13-31.
That's a good win for
In a
Baronia.
game that the Baronia Twitter account said if they made a DVD of the game, absolutely no one would buy it. Probably sums up where it was at. Upper Ferntree Gully 7-10-52 defeated the Basin 7-6-48 after trailing all day. Park Orchards 9-6-60. The first score we heard all day was during the third term. Apologies to Park Orchards fans. 9-6-60, they've defeated Sylvan 7-9-51. Templestowe 14-13-97 defeated Warrandyte 2 straight 12. Surrey Park 16-6-102 have defeated the Eastern Lions 13-13-91. Whitehorse Pioneers 5-13-43 went down in the end again after trailing all day to Ferntree Gully 8-56, who kicked 4 goals 4 to 1 goal 4 in the final term. Forest Hill 22-15-147 defeated Coldstream 4-6-30. Donvale 36-31 247 have defeated Nuttawarning 1-4-10. And the Glenwaverley Hawks 9-5-59 have gone down to Kilsyth 10-8-68.
Well,
that's why my scores weren't updating, because Lee's unplugged the Wi-Fi.
Has he? Jeez.
Anyway, we might get through these awards. We'll start with the situational awards. Mark Play and Play Goal of the Day.
Oh, well, we know who that is. Number 18.
Goal of the Day, Rain Harris, early in that first term.
Yeah. No arguments there.
Second term.
It was a ripper goal, and you'll be happy you had the call for that one for the highlights package, Dyson, during the week.
Go up on social media during the week. I think you've only had one this year.
Yeah, I know. I've missed out a bit.
Paul's certainly been loving up his, that's for sure.
It's because he never lets anyone else call.
Play of the Day. Play of the Day. I suggested that it might be Jaden Van Unen.
Yeah. When he switched the ball from in front of us to the centre there, and he put it out in front of his player running across the cricket pitch, and they pushed it forward and they got a goal. Okay, it was just his ability to put the ball out in front of his running player there was fantastic.
Mark of the Day. Probably almost could go to Jaden Van Unen as well for the grab that he took over here.
Yep.
Unless anyone else
There really wasn't any that would stand out.
It was a hard day to pull down an absolute ripper.
There were some big flights though. There were some massive flights.
Yeah,
Hill got up a couple times as well, but yeah, as you said, it was pretty.
I thought the mark of the day was the one right in front of us where the boundary umpire deemed it out of bounds, and it wasn't. It was in the poor, it was in play, and it was given out.
We'll have to watch the tape back on that one.
Yeah.
Actually, what about Matty Scott's mark in that last quarter when? Or that third quarter there, as the ball was going forward, and he rode the bump and that collision. That took a lot of courage.
That was courage.
That's a candidate.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Matty Scott.
Yep. Eyes only for the football, and copped it as well for his troubles, so he can have a prize.
So Goal of the Day, Rain Harris from Knox. Play of the Day, Jaden Van Unen from North Ringwood. Mark of the Day, Matt Scott from North Ringwood. Those gentlemen are going home with a couple of awards. Pancake Parlour Play of the Day, Jaden Van Unen goes home with a $50 Pancake Parlour voucher. The Chiropaedic Betting Goal of the Day goes to Rain Harris. He goes home with a $100 voucher. All thanks, of course, to Chiropaedic Betting. He'll have a good night's sleep after a great goal. And the A1 Airport Parking Mark of the Day, where Ben's been spending most of his time on weekends. Or his car's been spending most of his time on weekends.
Lives there during the week.
Yeah.
A $50 voucher to A1 Airport Parking going the way of North Ringwood's Matt Scott. The Player of the Day today, all thanks to Tobin Brothers, will receive this week a $150 Trojan Toolkit. We're just trying to get rid of a few leftovers from last week. So we might start going around the table, and as is usually the case, we'll throw the newbie under the bus.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, hopefully you don't. Hopefully these actually make sense. So
they can't be any worse than
Artie's. Had to be mentioned.
Oh God.
You can always claim if you're different than everybody else, that you get a better perspective down on the boundary line. That's right.
That's it. Well, I had my one vote was for I thought Hill was really good, especially the start of that third quarter where they kicked, 3 goals in the first 8 minutes. His presence down there, as we talked about at halftime, was really good. So I gave him a vote. Then Haley, I thought was just brilliant, getting under the skin of the Knox boys, really helped. And he not only did he just, when he got the ball, distribute really well, but he drew a lot of players in, which I thought was good. It helped his forwards out a bit. And, Matty Whelan, 3 votes.
Jack Whelan.
Jack Whelan.
Yep.
It's just too good. You just can't go past that. I think they'll be...
Where is his brother, actually?
This kid knows what he's talking about, Will, because I've got my 3, 2 and 1 as exactly the same players
there
as
you
well.
go.
Will, I'll give you a bit of advice. When you put your votes down, just make sure BWS is not looking over your shoulder, okay?
I tell you what, though, Whelan, he was absolutely sensational all day. We called it pretty early that he was certainly a player to watch, and he did a fantastic job. Agree with you on Haley as well. His first half was instrumental. His pressure around keeping the ball alive and copping it pretty hard as well was fantastic. And Hill as well, solid as a rock. What's so funny?
Ray, I'll go to you first because Brash is trying to put his glasses on so he can
Okay, look, well...
He spent the last 5 minutes trying to get his glasses on over his headset.
Lee's got it on camera too.
As a coach,
Sorry,
Brash. All you can ask from your players is to give 100%. Now, because of that, I've given a Knox player 1 vote.
Yeah,
I just thought that Mitchell Wu-Finden, look, some of his, particularly in that third
first
quarter...
half was great.
And particularly in the third quarter out here, there was one of the efforts where not only his first and second efforts were great, but there was a third effort put in there, and I just thought he deserved 1 vote.
Yeah,
he deserved 1 vote. Yep. 2 votes I gave to Matt Scott. Look, just his work over the 4 quarters. I just thought he was an outstanding player.
Excellent.
Look, he had lots of teammates who were pretty good as well, but I just gave him 2 and 3 votes to the little man Jack Whelan. He was dynamite out there today.
Brash, now that you've got your glasses on.
Yeah. Look, I'm very much similar to a lot of the other guys. Just the three same players have all been mentioned, but I'm going to give 1 vote to Matty Scott. I thought him and Jack Whelan in the first half really set up the play, not only in the back line, but they were running the lines through the centre and the half forward and setting up opportunities. Tim Jones, I thought, was probably the best backman on the ground. I thought he controlled the half back. I think the highlight of his day was the tackling pressure that he brought. He created opportunities. He also sort of laid a few... he set up play as well, so I'm giving him the 2 votes.
He kicks the ball in well also.
He does. And no mistake who best on the ground was. Jack Wheeler by a country mile, in and under, all over the joint. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone close to having 40 possessions, but he was just absolutely everywhere in a day that was just tailor-made for a small forward.
Who did you give your 1 vote to?
Matt Scott.
Apologies. Ben?
I've done mine.
Oh, you have, of
Yeah,
course.
he did yours, yeah. Just copy
So
Wills.
exactly
Oh,
the
yeah,
same.
of course.
Do what Ben did, just copy Wills.
Well,
It's unanimous anyway, really.
I
I think.
know.
What about Will Taylor's votes?
it's
They went.
he's
They were
gonna-
both for the Channel 9.
No,
girls.
He's going to give...
Alicia Loxley 3, was it?
The only thing I hope is that when they rolled that tent up, Will was still not in it.
Well, Brucey helped them pull it down, and then he fell down.
which is what we always like to see. My votes don't actually matter, and it's probably good because it seems as though I watched a completely different game.
That's all right.
A couple of apologies to a few Knox players. I thought Davis, Wolfenden, Stanek was good, and Harrison Greaves.
I thought he had a really good last quarter,
Stanek
especially.
was good too.
A few apologies to Shepherd, who I thought was great, and Aaron Fenton, who, as the boys mentioned, he's probably had 15 tackles for the day. I gave 1 vote to Jack Whelan. I thought he was good, but obviously not as good as everyone else thought he was. I gave 2 votes to Todd Morgan. I thought his work across half-back was sharp right across the day. And I gave my 3 votes to Rory Hardback.
Yeah.
I thought, while no one else had him in the votes, I just thought his set-up work on a day where precision skill was the main player that was really going to get them going.
That's a good call. He had a good game.
He's often maligned a bit, Rory Hardback, but you have a look. You have a look through North Ringwood's best players, and he's always, in them nearly every week. So I mean, it's no surprise, Dyson, that you couldn't find a spot for him in his votes because he definitely is a really good player for them.
That makes me feel a lot better. Thought I was watching a completely different game.
No, it's a good
so
call.
Jack Whelan goes home with $150 worth of Trojan tools, and that caps off, of course, all thanks to Tobin Brothers Funerals celebrating lives. Usually we'd have a Coles Myer gift card. We'll save them till finals time.
You owe me one.
And we'll give Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, we'll make sure that I get that to you. As we digress a little bit, we'll start winding up because it's pretty much nigh on 5 o'clock. It was a great game out here. North Ringwood getting up by 19 points in the end and doing it all from boundary side. He was fantastic on debut. He still does have a mic on?
Yes.
Will, great work from you, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. It was really good to be. As I said, going into the game, I was a bit nervous because I hadn't done the boundary run before, but good to get the game done. I did fall over in the mud as well, which was nice.
Well done, mate. You did a good job.
Didn't have to be caught on camera. Lee would have got that one, but no, thanks for having me, guys. It was great.
We were saying pre-match that he's come downhill very quickly, going from Simmons Stadium, 2-course meal, free beverages, to on the boundary at Knox when it's about 6 degrees and bucketing down with rain.
And falling over.
And falling over.
What a
So he
great
pretty much just capped it off.
Yep.
Just a great leveler, Will. Just a great leveler.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Brash, sharp work from you as always. You've come back to the country with an absolute plum.
Oh, I love it. Just got to love it. Love me EFL footy. Love coming to do it every Saturday. I'd do it all day if I could. But, yeah, look, thanks for having me again.
Ray, partner in crime to Brash. So come back and absolutely working beautifully between the two of you.
Yeah, no, look, I enjoyed the game today. Look, I was one that was a little bit against coming down here to Knox. And I admit that. But as it's turned out, look, it was a great game of football. As I said, look, I'm still in awe with the tackling of both sides. It was terrific.
Yep. Both in your matching old man beanies.
Yeah.
How many layers? How many layers have you got on today, Ray?
About 12. It's all right, mate.
Don't worry, we had 12 layers on last night too.
Yeah, at the netball.
And it hasn't happened very often this year, but finally getting to call with you once again, Ben.
Yeah, it was a great day out here and a good game too. It was the right decision that we made to come out here, and we finally get to tick Knox off our list, because it has been a few years since we've come out. They've hosted us absolutely magnificently, like all clubs do. So we really appreciate them for that. They played a good game of football as well, and we can only wish them all the best for the rest of the year. There'll certainly be a few more wins come their way. I have no doubt about that. And as for North Ringwood, well,
see them in a couple of weeks.
We are good luck charms for the North Ringwood Football Club, because I cannot remember the last time that we've called a game, and there's been plenty over the last 5 years where they've actually lost.
And they'll be hoping that continues in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to head out there on their Sunday local derby game again out at Combi Reserve. It'll be the first time we've gone to Combi in a long, long time.
It's going to be a good game.
And at Combi Burger, so I'm going to get in early and make sure I get one of those.
You're going to put in your order early,
I certainly will. I'll be there at 9 o'clock.
Just get in before Bruce Press, that's all.
Thanks, of course, to Lee and Bruce. Do a fantastic job each and every week. They do a great job. Make sure you tune in from 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for EFL Sunday. Back again for the huddle on Friday from 4:30 p.m. And you want to reveal it now, where we're going next week?
Yeah,
we are
or have
going,
you just completely forgotten what the date is?
No, it's the traditional Baldwin versus Noble Park clash out at SEN Park next Saturday afternoon. We'll be heading out to.
Of course, a full round of Division 1 and 2 matches. Division 3 and 4 will have the bye. No AFL Sunday next Sunday. You'll be able to tune in from 10 o'clock this Sunday. And make sure you enjoy your Sunday morning EFL Sunday list next week. But, we'll be out at Baldwin and Noble Park.
I'm not coming down next week.
Wrapping up from Knox Gardens, you're just going to throw that one.
Yeah.
Throw that one at me at 5:05.
Dyson, I must say, he only made half an effort getting down here this week anyway. But there you go.
So he's picked the game, but he's not coming down to call.
Yeah, no, that's right.
On that note, as it starts to unravel very quickly at 5:05, we'll head back to Barry Cotts in the studio for the BGC Bayswater post-match show from Knox Gardens, where it was North Ringwood, the away side, getting their second win of the season by 19 points from all of us at the team. Thanks very much to the Pancake Parlour for their support in season 2016. Now it's back to Barry Cotts in the studio.
Good on you, Baz.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No,